Hey, hey, welcome, welcome. I'm only a little bit fading into the background today. I'm losing myself. We're going to update this Rach talk because Rach is so last year. Her tour's over. She's boring now. Boo, boring. Yeah, there you go. I'm all about muscle and fitness now. This is going to become a training channel where I will show you that I have bravery and courage by becoming beefier. Welcome. My first workout of the day is squeezing your muscles. I'm halfway there, guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Tonight, whenever you're watching this, this is hot off the press. And so today, basically, we're going to talk about Heidi and Dave. Dave Hollis, if you didn't know. Welcome to Hollisville. This is where we talk about all things related to Dave Hollis and Rachel Hollis. But Rachel Hollis is, like I said, she's boring now. We're done with her for now. We've had a lot. We've had a lot of Rachel Hollis content in the last little bit. So it's time to move on to her ex-husband and his current girlfriend, Heidi Powell. And in perfect timing because it's both just past the 1-year anniversary since Pancake Gate. And if you don't know what Pancake Gate is, I made a video about it 1 year ago in which Dave has a full-on breakdown of sorts on social media over his book coming out at the time, Built Through Courage, which was a self-help book that was very bad, in my humble opinion. I'm no book critiquer, I'm no book critic necessarily, but that was a bad book. And 1 year later, he is on stage competing to be the hottest dude in his category of men with hot bods, I guess. And I just want to reflect on that in a few different ways about how far he's come since Pancake Gate, how much left he has to go before he sort of returns to normalcy, if that's even possible. And then also we're going to talk about a huge glaring sort of thing that neither Dave or Heidi have talked about, which I find to be not surprising, but a little bit shocking when you hear some of the details that have just come out in the Washington Post about female bodybuilders and a huge scandal that it looks like people in Heidi's life and Heidi herself and Chris Powell are sort of not involved in, but they are definitely part of the world that is being accused right now of being completely, I'll say, unhinged, to be nice, and criminally exploitative at the worst. And we're going to read through the allegations. We're going to break it down a little bit, show the video that the Washington Post has come out with, and then sort of go through some people's Instagrams and put pieces together, because I think their reporting is very eye-opening and sort of, like, again, I'm not shocked that Dave or Heidi has not commented that I have seen on the report that just came out, but they should. And if they really believe in the sport that, Dave is now becoming a part of, Heidi has been a part of, what the hell, what's going on here? Because there's some, it's not just one person accusing the organizations surrounding the industry, which is this bodybuilding, physique competitions, but it's several women who have come forward and spoken about this. So we're going to talk about that too. But first, let's kind of I didn't really know a whole lot. I still don't know a whole lot about bodybuilding sorry. I did not want to forget Beth Peters. Thank you so much, Beth Peters. Beth Peters says, so ready for Dave to straight flex on us. Yeah, he's flexing on the haters, which is us. So, Dave, what do you have to say about that?
Oh, I love that sound.
He loves the sound of last place. Oh, poor Dave. Poor Dave. Kind of, not really. This is why Dave's doing fitness competitions now.
I'm too tall to run.
He's too tall to run, so he has no choice. He must become muscular. Okay, and then just so you know, Chris Powell has a history of doing these competitions. Heidi has a history of doing these competitions when she was with Chris Powell. Chris won like every division he was in, apparently, according to some interviews that I watched. And Heidi got her pro card, which is something that we're going to talk about that apparently is like sort of getting your pro card is part of this whole scandal where some of the men have been accused who are like the promoters of these fitness events and who are the owners. They only give you your pro card to women if you like sleep with them. That's sort of where we're going with this today. Just FYI, there is some trigger warnings necessary for sexual exploitation. Let's just say that. Okay, but first, what the heck is this, and how is Dave Hollis connected to it? And let's just talk about it. So, Davey, our bestie Dave Hollis, our resident former Disney executive, current fitness enthusiast. I don't know what the. I'm going to tropical islands. I'm going to the tropical islands for this show, guys. Sorry. Here's Dave a year ago, during his Pancake Gate era. That's his picture on the left, obviously. Let me get out of the way. That's when he, even in this post that I'm going to read, he agrees and admits that he was in the midst of, dealing with an alcohol addiction. So, I mean, I don't know, he looks fine there. It doesn't look like, oh my God, what a horrendous person. Look at that, horrible before photo. And this was him this weekend competing. So, he's celebrating, I guess, his transformation. He's been transformed. Okay, this is what he says. I mean, a lot can happen in a year. I'm waking up this morning feeling really proud of myself for taking on a challenge that was wildly more than I thought I was signing up for. Turns out during doing my first physique competition wasn't ever about my physique. Okay, Dave. Sure. Muscle hand emoji. It was about facing my fears, following through on the commitments I make to myself, falling in love with the process, irrespective of the result. Now, I was going to say famously. Nothing I've done has ever been famously. One time I was like, is irrespective a word? And several people said, you're stupid. It is a word. Okay. I have since looked it up. It is a word. I just think it's a stupid word. Okay. Irrespective. Anyways. Appreciating how self-respect and dignity comes through consistency and discipline. In a sport where you can't take shortcuts, I see the connection to the shortcut routes I've taken over time and how they've compromised my ability to love myself. I don't know. He seems to get he'll have one insight and then I'm lost. I'm like, wait, what does it mean? You're proud that you followed through your commitments? Okay, good. And then the second one's like, I see how I didn't love myself because I've been compromised with my short. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't get how he writes. I don't get it. And the constant reminder that I was only ever competing against myself and the 5 to 7 other men who were literally on stage with him at the same time. And I will say too, and we're going to show some of the videos about it, hearing about how he trained and how he was eating and how you have to eat certain things at certain times and cutting and drinking water and not drinking water and pumping, taking sugar and shoving it down your throat right before you go on stage. That to me all seems extremely disordered at the worst. I think that's a little harsh of a word to say disordered, but if you were doing this for a long period of time, I think you could consider it disordered. And I think just unhealthy, really. It's almost like putting yourself through some sort of extreme sport or the hot dog eating contest. You can get away with that maybe once in a while, once a year. But if you're doing that and you're just running your body ragged all the time, I just don't find that to be a lifestyle worth emulating personally. And this competition, all this stuff, it doesn't seem like, oh, this is a lifestyle that, is really sustainable. So I'll just say that there was a lot of hacks and tricking your body into this state and that state. It's Okay. Anyways, I was competing with this dude on the left, a shot from September of last year, overwhelmed with an upcoming book release, stewing in the still unprocessed feelings post-divorce, drinking to cope. It only took a public breakdown, getting some serious help, and committing to a big, scary goal to see some meaningful progress. Okay, I'm going to disagree. This is his own life, so he doesn't have to agree with me on anything. But I'm going to disagree and say everything up until that last sentence was totally fine. Great at, saying great, amazing. Thank you, Caitlin Lynch. Oh, wait, it came through, maybe. It's coming through as... There it is. It says his caption is written like an MLM pitch, waiting for the info call invite at the end. Yes. It's like, do you want to stop looking like me from September of last year? Well, I have the solution for you. It's called Beachbody. You may have heard of it. You will join a Zoom call with other people, and then you take obnoxious videos of yourself drinking smoothie water called Shakeology for a low price of $8,000 a month. It's amazing. You can do insanity workouts that you definitely could probably find on YouTube as well, but we just charge for it. That's what's coming up. I agree. And if you don't want to join my downline,
Unfollow me.
that's what Caitlin says. Thank you, Caitlin. Okay, so, I was going to say, okay, the only thing that I disagree with in this paragraph is like, he needed to get help. Yes. He has unprocessed feelings about the divorce. Yes. That's, very normal for people who have been married for that long, have kids, and have a public relationship and had a relationship conference about how great your marriage was. Yeah, I think there's going to be leftover feelings, obviously. Public breakdown happened. We all saw it. Okay. Pancake gate. But the committing to a big, scary goal, that's where you lose me, Dave. That's where the self-help industry loses me. All of the other things that you just said were fine and dandy. Like, you're telling the truth, great. You're getting help, great. That's it. Why does there have to be a physique competition to prove that you're worthy? That's where I'm like, this is unhealthy behavior, in my opinion. For himself. He's not hurting anyone necessarily doing this, but, I just find it to be, as he is life coach adjacent, coaching man, don't take this advice, people, please. Okay. I'm grateful for a crazy year and the way the wins and humbling missteps all worked for building a better me, even if it didn't feel like it every day. I come out of this competition knowing myself more than I think I ever have. He says that about and Rachel does it too. He says that about everything after he does it. I've never known myself as much as I do today. And then the next day he's like, I've never known myself as much as I do today. Well, yeah, because another day has passed. You had another 24 hours with yourself. Makes sense to me. Standing as I still work in progress me on a firmer foundation to continue growing for the lessons it taught. To be honest, I'm pretty sure I got last place in my division. And there's been some debate whether he knows he got last place and he doesn't want to fully commit to that, or he doesn't know because they don't even rank the bottom half of the group or whatever. So I don't know. We can look at the website, but I didn't see the results posted yet. I only see the 2021 results posted on the website, but there might be an update. Excuse me. He's pretty sure he got last place though. Couldn't have scripted it better. Yeah, right. Again, yeah, right. Roll my eyes. You joined to win. That's what everyone does. Yes, maybe you showed up and you realized you were, out of your wheelhouse, or you were, a small fish in a big pond. But no one goes oh, I'm so glad I came in last place. Don't lie to yourself and to us, please. There's something beautiful and inspiring about working harder than you ever have and being humbled by people who've been working hard for a lot longer. Okay? I'm so motivated to try something else scary and new. This sounds like Rachel Hollis's I'm no longer a weenie thing that she was doing last year. So excited to see what I can do next, knowing what I was able to do here. Let's go. Okay, so that's how he wrapped it up himself. Heidi says, so proud. And then someone says, you are both my favorite couple. Why? Okay. And then that he just posted that one photo. I have some videos of some of the stuff that he recorded during, and I think it shows a little bit more honesty. And I don't understand the dynamic between Heidi and him. Heidi will take these videos of him where he looks so bad or he's having like an honest moment, and she'll post it. It comes off as weird, like as if she's like intruding on his personal space, and then he'll repost it. So then I'm like, I have no sympathy anymore because you reposted it, Dave. So I feel bad for you for a second, and then I feel like not bad because you're sharing it. It makes no sense to me. But here's the best friends that you've ever seen. Here's your best friends. Just two besties hugging it out, kissing it out on the stage. Oh, here's a different photo. Is that a different photo or the same one? I don't know. Here's him in his underwear again. And I'll read this one too. So there you go. Here's the actual walking out. Now, it looked like 3 people from the challenge, the Get Fit challenge, which has disappeared off the face of the earth, at least public facing. Heidi's big challenge that she's claimed is the last one she's ever going to do because it's too much of a pain in her ass to do anymore. Some people from that group had flown out, excuse me, to cheer Dave on. And they were in the front row, or like this venue was pretty small. Like the stage was pretty small compared to like, an arena or something. And he claims like that's what threw him off. That's why he didn't, pay attention as much as he should have. And this is that moment. But I have another video with audio on it, so I'll play that one. But he didn't really take it very seriously, it seems. Everyone in the background, I guess, is like much more like this is like their thing that they're doing, and Dave kind of is like, I don't care, let's go, oh hey, like goofy doofy, probably because he saw that everyone else is like ripped and has been doing this stuff for a lot longer than he has, and he felt like, well, if I throw it away and make it seem like I don't care, then maybe I won't be so harshly judged for not coming up short. Okay, children were there, him eating a donut. You better eat that 27 times. Chew, chew, chew. That's Heidi's rule for donuts. You can only swallow if you have chewed it 30 times. Really good behaviors here. Another shot. Here's a silver fox next to Dave. Don't know what place he came in. And then this is him chugging honey, I believe, before he went on stage, which again is like another hack. Like if you chug a thing of honey, as you can see, it's like cut off a little bit, but he's like, I don't know. That's to me is like not a great healthy activity necessarily. Like, okay, you want to like pump up, like chug some stuff. I don't know. It just seems silly. Okay. So this is what Heidi says about Dave. Number 68. I guess 69 was taken by someone more flexible. Damn, I ruined the joke. Okay. I think number 69 was taken by someone more flexible. No, nothing. Hello? Okay. Thank you. All right. Number 68 in our playbooks. So he was number 68, not in 68th place. I thought that was, I don't think there were 68 people in his division. Number 68 in our playbooks, number 1 in our hearts. Ladies and gents, Mr. Dave Hollis. So dang proud of this man. Stepping outside of your comfort zone to do something as terrifying as stepping on stage to compete in your first physique show comes with a whole bag of emotions. From worry that the effort put in over the months may not be worth it, to major feelings of insecurity when you get backstage, glimpse of your competition. Okay, she's missing a word there, but we get it. To deeply rooted doubt around whether or not you're even made for whatever it is you're attempting. I'm telling you, I've said this before on this channel. Heidi is so mean to Dave. she's like so passive aggressively mean to him and always outing him and like making him look like a total asshole. And maybe it's just like she's shining a light on it. But if I was the partner of somebody, I would not be making these types of comments. I'm sorry, I just wouldn't. And if I was, it would be a clear indication like we need to break up immediately. It's so mean. Fear is real. Fear of looking bad at trying something new, and those voices in your head trying to keep you from being great are louder than ever. What? Okay. It's their voice in my head that's like, don't be great. Be average. Dummy. There is one way, plus only one way through, and that's with courage. Call back to his Built Through Courage from 1 year ago. Courage to feel the scary in every ounce of your being. Know the risk of any outcome. Be aware that your first is being judged next to someone's 50th. And freaking do it anyway. This is exactly what this guy did. And once again, it's like, yes, he did it and all that, but like, he's saying like, oh, I came in last place. It's the perfect place for me. Like, this is what I was wanting to learn. It's like, why don't you go just do something for yourself then? Why put yourself in a competition? You know, like if you wanted to like, you know, he's already done marathons, I guess. So that's not exciting anymore, but there's so many sports and activities where you are competing against yourself. Like can you complete it? Yes or no? So I don't understand like that, why you'd pick, like, it's like joining a beauty pageant to prove that you're like intelligent or something. It's like, yeah, I mean, that you can be intelligent while doing that, but like, why would you go on stage in a bikini, like to show off your body? Like, that's two different reasons for doing something, in my opinion. Okay. Yes, he looks amazing. I mean, debatable. That's subjective, right? You know, every one person's muscle bod is another person's, you know, cheat week. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. He looks amazing. More muscles, so beautifully bronzed, looking like a specimen he never imagined possible. Another weird comment. I don't get it. Another specimen he never imagined possible. Describe your boyfriend to me. Well, he's a specimen that he never imagined possible. Okay. But the real victory is in the pride he felt knowing that in a sport unlike any other, where you really can't prepare for the out-of-body experience, he looked his fear dead in the eyes and jumped courageously into uncharted territories with a smile on his face. Okay, these people are so dramatic. You went to a fitness competition and you put oil on your body. Like, get over yourselves. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I apologize. I shouldn't say that as much as I do, but I feel it. I do feel that way. Seeing him light up the stage was awesome, but that's not it for me. Not the body, the muscles, even though I brought that up 12 times, nor any trophy that could ever be won. Nope. Yeah. Okay, Heidi, whatever. Okay, fitness influencer Heidi, tell us what action matters, please. What makes me emotional is the dedication to the process. Seeing him set his mind to something and relentlessly pursue it day in and day out, even and especially when he wanted to least. He doesn't want to do it. Like, who's saying he has to do this? It's you and him that are doing this to yourselves. This is not brave. I'm sorry. It's like brave in the sense of like, if it's a huge fear for you and you do it, great. But like to anyone else watching this, it's not I learned how to be courageous from this, watching this man's experience, self-indulging in this, you know, rich person sport. It's not a rich person sport, but like, you know, he's got free time and he has a warehouse gym in his backyard. He has access to trainers. He has money. Like, that's what I mean by that. Seeing him not have time for the gym and figuring it out anyway. I don't think he's employed from what I can tell. Okay, what would he not have time for? Watching him weigh his food meticulously and battle past behaviors that would have previously defeated him. Now, there was a lot of debate on Reddit whether, like, what this meant. Is this like a callback to the alcohol issue? Is she saying that, like, he's drinking again? Is she saying that he, you know, just would not stay healthy on the meticulous weighing diet, which again is like, ugh, okay, just do that temporarily, please. Unknown. She, of course, keeps it vague. We're not to know, but regardless, it's, again, mean. It's just a mean comment to be like, oh, how did your boyfriend do in the competition? Well, he was battling past behaviors that would have previously defeated him. Like, okay. Thanks, babe. Witnessing the most integrity-aligned version of him emerge, the genuine humility that developed as a result. Okay. The end result doesn't matter nearly as much about who you The end result doesn't matter nearly as much about who you become along the way. Again, missing a word, I think, but doesn't as much as who you become along the way. And Dave Hollis, I've watched the best, most confident version of you yet emerge through the hard work, discipline, and courage. Now we celebrate. And then he responded, you are such an incredible partner. I appreciate you and your support more than words could ever say. I love you. And then she said, Rachel Hollis, signature move. I love you emoji and so proud. Ay. Okay. So, these people solved world hunger by joining a fitness competition is the vibe that I'm getting with this. So let's watch a couple of the stories that I think tell more of a honest, more honest story, because I think it was captured a little bit more naturally, I think. Not like a scripted, okay, I'm going to write my caption with like muscle emojis as like a laundry list thing, very thought out. So for that, Dave says,
Dave, you're talking about peace, aren't you? No, I'm talking about buying my book.
There you go. Okay. So here's the silver fox guy I told you about. So that's who Dave was competing against. I think it's very clear, just a quick glance, that the guy next to him looks to me to be more muscular. I don't know how these are judged, and they're all subjective. So there's no, as far as I know, it is again like a beauty pageant. It's a beauty pageant for fitness enthusiasts, bodybuilding enthusiasts, like a pageant. And I know this because I was in them. Okay, as a teenager, embarrassingly so. I was in 3. Honestly, every experience was a nightmare, to be honest. But I had a lot of self insecurities, and I was like, what will solve my insecurities? Putting myself in a bikini at 16 on stage in front of everybody and paying to be judged. That'll help. That's where my mind was back then. Anyways, so that I just a quick glance, I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy looks like much more probably a contender than Dave. And then it says, one of the coolest gifts, I lined up next to this beast and told him it was my first time. He said, amazing, take it all in and have fun. It's my 5th year competing and it keeps getting better. Cool. And then it says, permission to have fun. Sounds good. And then apparently he took that advice and ran with it to the point of sort of being embarrassing. It says, as it turns out, I was the only contestant to clap for myself and chat up the others the whole time. I'm still learning the seriousness of the sport. So basically he's admitting he's Goober Dave. Goober Dave takes on fitness competition. And here's that clip. There he is. Okay, so amazing, wonderful, love it, so great. Can see his integrity through his board shorts. Okay, and now this is the part where he's going to say in a second that he was distracted by his fans. I don't know if Heidi's in the audience or if she's behind stage or what the deal is, but I know there's a couple women who came from the group because they posted about it and showed them and said, this is our group, people, fans, whatever. But apparently, he was actually not that happy about them being supportive. Okay, it says, clearly I'm still learning how to open up my back, as they say, and stay quiet on stage. Also, let's go. Okay, so if you couldn't hear that, it's a little low, but they're like, let's go, you know. And he's like, let's go. But I think you're supposed to be focused and taking it seriously. And then he cried, apparently. That's what he says. He says he cried. And then I walk off stage and cry, on brand. I like the humor. I'll give it to him. And then this is reposted from Heidi's page and says, then this, the post-stage and adrenaline emotion makes me cry. And then he's talking about why he messed up, basically, to his coach. And I went on his coach's page the day of the competition. I didn't, and I could be wrong. So, you know, don't hold me accountable, please. Don't cancel me, please. But the coach had not posted about him being there, did not post like proud of my client, didn't say anything. So, you know, take that for what it's worth.
It's like, yeah, everything just goes, no, I mean, it's like, it's hard to, like, people I know sitting very, very close, screaming, like, I couldn't stay focused at all. Then I think also.
Did I go back? Okay. So basically, he says, I see the lights are just there, like, yeah, everything just goes every now. I mean, it's like, it's hard to know, like, people I know sitting very, very close screaming, like I couldn't stay focused at all, man. I think also the nerves get to you. So there you go. Oh, I missed it. What was it? What was it? Someone tell me, please. I think there's more to this one, to that clip, and I think we have it on Reddit. So I'm going to go to Reddit for a second so we can watch that. But then here's him eating a donut again. And then this is them talking about the pre-show. Excuse me.
Continuing the story. Half makeup.
Half makeup.
Not about me,
You
but
look
half
fantastic.
makeup. Just have
Not about me. She wants to ask Dave a question, but she's going to make sure to stay in frame the whole time.
Like, it's been crazy, like, driving to the airport yesterday, had some In-N-Out. Then landed, had steak instead of the fish. Then
I know for me, like during this process, it is the most important thing to trust the process and trust your coach. And there's been a handful of times over the past couple of days, specifically the last 24, where you're like, wait, should I eat a little bit more? Because coach. So question.
Yes.
So after this morning, well, last night when you ate, right? But specifically this morning when you had 3 pancakes, so you woke up feeling really tiny. You felt small. You felt like your muscles were flat. You were worried. You keep saying, I feel like I'm going to make a fool out of myself is what you keep saying. Right?
Again, why did she put him on the spot like that? You know, like last night when you were confiding in me privately that you said that you hate your body and that you think you're really puny and small and that you have nothing to offer the world. Yeah, like, can you tell my 500,000 followers more about that? It's so bad. But he sits there and does it. So, like, you know, he's a grown man. If he doesn't want to take this meanness from her, that's his own choice. I have no real sympathy for it, but I just find it so hilarious to watch it in real time, as they say.
and the, like, feeling of standing inside of this gym where there are super inspiring but also
And they're different categories too
totally
than you. So
different
your
category.
physique, bodybuilding is like two
totally
categories
different.
up.
And it doesn't, the thing is,
Yeah.
I know it intellectually, and yet I'm
I love that you are getting a chance to experience what I've experienced. Like when I met you and I told you I had a pro card. I did not say right off the bat, but it's a joke now.
very impressive, although I didn't know what it meant.
No.
I don't know about you, but
Okay. So that part's sort of important. Like I said, like she's like, I mean, it's not important to anybody or anything, but she's like, you know, this is not about me. However, when I got my pro card, apparently that's like the gold standard for this whole thing. That's what you're aiming for. And there's a lot of disparity between women and men getting their pro cards and how the process works. And it's arbitrary. Like I said, it's not just like, oh, you've, you know, attained a certain body fat percentage or you've done some sort of, you know, I don't know, like if you're doing a weightlifting competition, you can lift the most amount of weight in your weight class and your age, you win a prize. It's not like that. It's like what the judge thinks is good and in that moment, what they're looking for that day. And then with that, because it's subjective and you're putting yourself up there for scrutiny subjectively, if you do a wink wink favor to somebody, you might get, there's no way to prove that, oh, this competitor is worse than this competitor. You know, that's what the accusations are. And we're going to talk about that. And then I want to talk about, just for a quick second, one part of the oiling up part. Because I know people were like, I don't know. I didn't conclude anything. But this was kind of a moment where people were like, what is this? What is this all about? Okay, so this is before the competition started, I'm assuming. And this random woman, apparently, this is from Heidi's account, says, one of the most interesting parts of Backstage is when some random and helpful person comes up to you and starts rubbing oil on you. No ask, just do. My kind of people. Okay, so she starts, this woman who apparently they don't know, starts rubbing oil on him and says, well, I don't want you to get disqualified. So there were some accusations or people on Reddit. So again, take that for what it's worth. It's no proof of anything, you know, whatever. We're saying that it could be because you're not allowed to contour. You know how they do like contouring makeup? Contouring, you can contour your abs. You can like make it, you can shade certain things to make your muscles look more defined than they are. But I guess that's against the rules. So the oil is supposed to eliminate any contouring, I guess, is what I've gathered from this experience, from reading. This sweet woman who rubs oil on my torso twice a week. I don't know how much you can hear, but I'll play it anyways.
We don't want to be disqualified.
So she said, we don't want you to get disqualified. And then Heidi says, isn't it amazing? You don't even ask. They just come up and rub. And he's like, I just want to do my pull-ups. I just want to work my trapezius. I don't want to be oiled, but I have no choice in the matter. Okay, and then I'm going to go, I think, I'm pretty sure there is that full video where they're talking.
Pancakes. Dave, how does it feel?
And Dave ironically ate pancakes on the anniversary or the day before the anniversary of Pancake Gate. I tend to believe that is a wink and a nod again to the Reddit community, the dark corner of the internet that talks about Dave and Rachel and Heidi, because it just is too weird. I've never seen a picture of Dave eating a pancake since the incident happened. And then of course, like right before the anniversary comes, they just post it. And I think they're showing like we don't care. We're not affected by this, you know, Pancake Gate scandal, whatever. Okay. All right. Here's the full video of him explaining to his coach why, you know, he didn't succeed as much as he wanted to.
Like, it's hard to, like, people I know sitting very, very close, screaming. Like, I couldn't stay focused at all. And I think also, like, the nerves get to you, but standing in the line, because it's an abstract idea until you're in line with the rest of the people you're competing with. And then I was like, oh man, some of the insecurity is back of like, oh, these guys have been doing it for a long time. This is my first time. So then I was like, I'm just gonna have fun, which is fine, except then I'm like, I don't want to make a fool of myself having fun. I don't know.
So that was that. So yeah, that's what my suspicion is, that he was like embarrassed. He saw the competition, he saw the writing on the wall, as they say, and he was like, well, instead of looking, and I've done this, that's why I'm saying this is what I think it, because I've done this my whole life, trying not to, but when you, as soon as I do, isn't that crazy? As soon as I'm like going to say something sort of vulnerable and bad about myself, I'm like, so you, when you do that, and it's like, no, I'm doing that. Okay. When I, myself, Kayla, when I have been like in a situation, like for tennis, for example, is a great one. In the past, you start hitting with somebody, you start, warming up with a competitor, and you can tell they're better. I would, in my younger years, start to go, whatever. I don't even care about this. I don't even care about this match. I could care less. I am like so much cooler at my other school. Like, I'm so popular. I don't even care about this match. Like that sort of attitude. And I think it's a defense mechanism. I know it's a defense mechanism, just so that you don't have to feel like you failed. And you can always think in the back of your mind, well, if I would have tried, I probably could have won. But since I didn't even try, like, that's why I lost. And that's how I feel about Dave. Like, that's what his choice was. Like, I just want to have fun. But in reality, he just didn't want to look like he was actually trying. That's my take, just as a fellow self-sabotager. Self-sabotager in, what do you call it? In, not rehab, but, in, what do you call it? Not in, not treatment, not rehab, whatever. Getting over it. In recovery. That's a good word. In recovery. So, yeah, so that's, here's the difference between Heidi's ex-husband, Chris Powell, and Dave Hollis. I believe this is Chris Powell's first competition in this group as well, because when they first did it and they got involved, Chris and Heidi, they were already on the show, Extreme Weight Loss. And so there you go. It's, again, sort of sad. Like, we've talked about this before. Like, Heidi is trying to become a self-help guru, is sort of fumbling over that. Thank you, everybody. Everyone's like, recovery, recovering, remission. Thank you. Exactly. And what was I saying? Oh, about Chris and Dave. Oh, that Heidi's trying to be a self-help guru like Rachel was, whatever. Having a conference, doing breath work, and trying to talk to people about stress and, life balance and self-development crap. And Dave is trying to become Chris Powell, who is like fitness, enthusiast, doing fitness competitions, fitness trainer, has an app. Now Dave's trying to become that. It's like so blatantly obvious that they're both trying to replace the other's old partner. It's fine. Like, this is like judgments based on, like, if you want to do all this, great, but then don't go, oh, I'm going to teach you through my book how to change your life. And if you don't have a job, just read this book and I'll help you fix it. Because these people are flawed greatly. And it's like, if you have credentials outside of that and you're teaching on those, great. Then you can be a flawed person. But when you're like, my life is so good, I'm going to teach you how to be like me. Here's how I did it. And then you're lying, or you are like, have all these problems. It's like, why should people listen to you? It doesn't even work for you. Sir, ma'am, schmam. Oh yeah, here's the people who threw Dave off, I guess. They posted this on their public profile, and they're not kids, so I don't feel bad really showing it. But these are the people from the Get Fit Challenge. And actually, it says, huge thanks to our Get Fit Challenge friends and actual real life friends. I don't think you charge your friends, depending on which track they took, several $1,000s or several $100s, or, I think it was like, what, $250 or something this round. I don't charge my friends that to be friends with me, but that's just me. Maybe I should. I'll have $200 in no time. Who flew in for this and spent the day cheering louder than anyone else? I think Dave is saying that passive aggressively. Yeah, they cheered louder than everyone else, and I actually came in last place because of it. I wish I had a picture with everyone who came to support. Love you guys. So I guess they're saying more than 3 people showed up. That's sort of surprising. And like, you flew there? I'll never understand the parasocial relationships that are formed via the internet. I mean, I do get it, but like, to be like flying out to see someone that coaches you online, that's taking it too far from moi. For moi. Okay, and then this just is like, just an interesting component. This is who the competition was created by. Now, this woman, she owns a gym, I believe, and this is the gym that we often see, and we're going to see, if it comes out at some point, I believe this is the gym where Heidi recorded a lot of her content for her app is in this woman's gym. And this is the event that Dave had joined. So if you've recognized the background, it's because we've played it on when we watched Heidi's videos in the past. And that's the second thing. So let's for a second go to Heidi's YouTube, because Heidi was supposed to be doing the female version of this event or an iteration of it, because she's got her pro card, as she said, and she's got experience, and she's training, and she's over 40 now, but she said that was part of the allure for her. So the last video she posted about it was 1 month ago. It says, fit over 40, my road back to a pro bikini stage part 2, but never, bonus episode? Oh no, did I watch this yet? Maybe I missed one. I missed something. Okay, we're gonna have to watch this. Sorry, everybody. I don't know if she's going to be doing this competition. It looks like no, because she hasn't spoken about it since. And it was, she was sort of making it seem like it was going to be, I don't know if you can see when I'm hovering over it, what shows up for me. Watch. That's what a preview is. Okay, so let's just see what this is. I have not watched it. Unless I did, but I don't think so. It says, the journey is so big for me that we couldn't just stop with part 1. Here's some bonus footage in my journey back to a pro bikini stage. Yeah, I believe she was supposed to do it in November, and I'm almost positive she's not going to do it. So let's just see what she's talking about here.
But I also didn't understand that competing is about so much more than one show. It's about showing up over and over and over and over. It's about improving. I'm gonna cry. But it is, it's about improving every time. It's about hearing, subjecting yourself to criticism, not about how you look, but okay, maybe I need to, let's train this. Maybe I need to add more fat to my diet.
Interesting choice of words there. Subject yourself to criticism to show that you're worth it. Yeah, that's not so great for me. It seems problematic in its wording and problematic in its meaning.
It is so...
And it is about looks. It is about looks. It is about what your body looks like. That's 100% what this is. There's no it's really about the friends we made along the way. No, it's about what your body looks like. You're on a stage, lathered up, oiled up, for people to literally look at every crease and crevice of your body and judge it. That's what it's about. I don't know how in the universe that could be healthy for someone who has struggled with eating in the past. That's not my place to judge what she wants to do with her life, but I cannot imagine that being an easy and great thing to transition from, a lifelong problem and then move on to this intense scrutiny, which is, again, you can say all you want. It's not about your body. It is about your body. I'm sorry.
Empowering. And actually, I believe that those 2.5 years of competing were the most therapeutic thing for me in my body dysmorphia, in my eating disorder past, because it actually gave me tools to feel comfortable no matter what.
How? What? I don't have the background to understand. I don't have the expertise to speak on it, but I don't understand how that could be true.
So I just finished getting a beat down by Damien over at Pro Physiques. The thing is, you can see from the way that he trains me why he's so good. Most coaches don't understand the importance of the little millimeter foot movement, or he like studies and watches where I'm putting weight in my foot. I do have a seatbelt on, by the way. He sees where I'm putting weight in my foot and makes sure I'm evenly dispersing, because when somebody like me has injuries from the past, so many of them, multiple surgeries, but 3 in particular on my knee, those ACL reconstructive surgeries, it's so important that my biomechanics are spot on, because if they're not, I'm going to be building muscle around an injury, which will lead to imbalances and hip issues and more knee issues and further injuries. And so for him to be that set of eyes that I can't be for myself, and say, hey, wait, tweak your foot, your knee's going out. And he can tell my knee goes out when my glute's weak. And he's right, like that left side is weak. And when that left side's weak, my knee kicks out because my right leg is compensating. So it's out to anyone watching that hasn't experienced injury.
Again, like this content that she's making, I mean, this is like a bonus episode on her YouTube channel, so who cares? But like, who is this interesting to or beneficial to other than herself? Like most of the content that I think she posts, like it's only about her very specific, life story. I just don't find the greater meaning behind why I need to know why her coach is the best and it helps her tweak her glute injury. Like, okay.
Or hasn't done rehab. It might be hard to understand, but it's so valuable. Then you take that and you translate it to stage, and it's the difference between symmetrical glutes and asymmetrical glutes, or one quad's being evenly developed or a quad being much bigger on one side and less on another. So aesthetically, yes, it's pleasing and it like helps my journey, like this goal that I'm doing, but also in a rehabilitation type of a way, a therapeutic way, it's so beneficial for my body in the long run.
Is it?
So we just finished. That was actually, I think
It was a workout.
it was a workout. There was shaking. I don't know if I've actually been that nervous for a workout in a long time. And I don't think it was as much the workout I was nervous for. It was the idea that I thought after the workout, Damien was about to tell me how far away I was from getting on stage. And what's funny is, like, you can see I have a story in my head that I have so far to go. I'm not going to be able to do this. I've been telling Dave for the past week, I don't think this is a goal I should do. Like, I was actually trying to come up with reasons why this was a bad idea. Like, I don't know, I'm 40. Is it a good idea? Like, do I really want to get in a bikini again? And like, what was happening? Because I don't love getting in a bikini and going on stage. I don't. Like, I've never loved it. It's always been uncomfortable. But
Then don't do it. I'm glad that she's not doing it. I'm glad. Don't do it. I've always hated it. It's uncomfortable. But in order to feel good about myself, I must subject myself to intense criticism. That is so not healthy. And again, like, live your life however you want to live it. But if you're going to hold yourself up as a self-help guru, sell a conference to other people, women, for $1,000 plus to teach them how to be better versions of themselves, you got to get this stuff in check. I'm sorry. Like, what is this? This is not, in my opinion, which I'm a nobody as well, good for anybody to hear. Like, this woman, she seems happy and very comfortable. Eey.
it hasn't been about that. It's been about setting a goal that was so uncomfortable for me, a goal that actually somebody on our show, Extreme Weight Loss, challenged me and Chris to do. But setting that goal, committing to it, and following through, even though there was a chance that I could lose. And coming from me, like, I'm a person who has historically only tried things when I knew I could win, because I was scared of looking bad, scared of failure. And me getting on stage or choosing with Chris back in the day to do a competition was such a step.
I wonder how many times Dave hears the name Chris while they're together. If he's got like a counter on his notepad on his phone, like, all right, 2 times in the car, 6 times at dinner. Like, we know Chris. We know he was the one you did this with. And it's not really relevant to the story, I don't think. But okay.
Step outside of my comfort zone. And I failed miserably. Like, I got on stage thinking I was going to do great. And I actually got close to last place. And it was truly one of the most devastating things I've experienced, but also one of the most beautiful things, like for my growth and my development, to like learn to be okay with losing. Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me. I love that you.
Oh my God. I have to go back. So she said, I almost came in last place, and that was like so devastating and horrible. Okay, so that's what happened to Dave later. And now she's like, she looks pretty pissed at Dave in this moment. Okay, I'm going to try to up the level of okay, well, it doesn't help it. She's a ghost. She's a beam of light, literally, from this video. Excuse me.
To my development, to like learn to be okay with losing. Why are you laughing at me?
No, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at me. I love that you went into your first competition thinking you were going to win. I'm going into my first competition planning for last place so that if I get next to last place, I'll be like, look who didn't finish last.
So let me tell you, but like I had been
okay, great.
told, like I'd only tried things historically that I knew I could win. That's a very fixed mindset thing. I did not know that like you could get good at things. I thought you were either good at something or you were bad at something.
This, I believe, is post panic attack, not pre. She says that she had her panic attack in July, and I believe this came out in September, I think. Now, I don't know when it was shot, but if he's already preparing, I think that makes sense that it would be in the September timeframe. So post panic attack. God, it's 101 degrees. If you see that in the left-hand corner, 101 degrees in Phoenix at this time. Jeez.
And when they challenged me to do it, I was scared, but I'm like, oh, I got this. Like everyone's telling me I'm going to win. This means I'm going to win. I did not understand that bodybuilding or bikini is about so much more than feeling confident in a bikini. Because I think I did. It was about putting in the work day in and day out, understanding that like it's the details, it's understanding body activation, like you're posing and muscle flexing and not flexing, but body awareness, right? Like there's so many details to even the right color bikini on you and how you walk on stage and how you present on stage and like eating enough, like I already said it, but like eating enough food was the hardest part. I was 105 pounds when I started competing. Before my first show, Damien was like, you got to put on 20 pounds and you got to put on 20 pounds fast. And so I went from 105 to 125 in a matter of a few months. Having an eating disorder history, that was the scariest thing I've ever done in my life. Like to trust somebody, like to actually say, okay, I'm going to trust him the same way I ask my clients to trust me. And if he's saying I need to gain weight, if he's saying I need to double my calories, I'm going to do it. Like I always say, Chris once told me, try it for 2 weeks, try it for 2 months, try it for a period of time. And if you don't like the results of the plan you're following, you can always go back to what was not working before. And like that is such a big aha thing. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to try this. Damien's name is on my transformation. So if I go on stage and I don't do well, or he knows what the judges want. He knows that they're looking for full muscles. They're looking for health. They're looking for like not emaciated, anorexic looking girls, right? They're looking for people that train, that are conditioned. And his name is on me. And if I get on stage and don't do well, that's on him. But I also didn't understand that competing.
Take a break. God, this is so much pressure to put on yourself for no reason. This is the problem with all of this stuff. Like, yes, like have goals, do things that you want to do, prove yourself right, prove yourself wrong. I'm not against those principles in life whatsoever. But when it's not, she described this experience already as uncomfortable, something she does not like to do, something that's stressful, something that she had to put trust in someone else that she wasn't, necessarily wanting to do and gain weight and all of this. It's just like, why? Like you're making these, it's like almost like creating adversity for yourself for no reason. Like for no reason other than self what do you call it? Flatulating, when you like hit yourself because you're unsatisfied. Like this is what Dave sounds like to me, and this is what Heidi sounds like to me, and this is what the whole fitness industry not fitness industry, but a lot of it, like the competitions at least with the physique and all that and how strict they have to be, it just doesn't seem like a real great love of yourself. It's like, I need to be better, so I need to starve. I need to force myself to eat. Or it's always like pushing yourself out of your, natural state. It just seems like nerve-wracking. And again, when she said that she came in last or whatever in the one competition, again, we're going to read the report in a minute, but it may have had nothing to do with her at all. It could have been that she didn't do any favors for the owner of the competition. It could have been she's not one of the girls, the in-girls that are like the ones that do all these nude photo shoots. So she might have been completely the best looking one there, and it doesn't matter. Redhead with a rake. Hello. Thank you. It says, Heidi is confusing a camera with a therapist. Yes. This seems to be Instagram lives are her therapist. These YouTube videos, she seems to even get more intimate with like a cameraman. And we know that it's a cameraman in this case because he was in the video where like the mirror was and it was a man. So it seems like when there's a man there with a camera, she's able to like emote much more than when she's, I don't know, maybe even like on Instagram, she has more of a persona. And on this, she seems to be more able to like describe things. But at the same time, it's like, this is not relevant to anyone else but her own personal growth, her own personal understanding. So like sharing it with the world, I don't know. I don't think she's at a place where she should be sharing all this yet. But thank you, Redhead with the Rake. And for that, I will
actually do something obscene for you.
I will actually.
Is about so much more than one show. It's about showing up over and over and over and over. It's about improving. I'm gonna cry. But it is, it's about improving every time. It's about hearing, like, subjecting yourself to criticism, not about how you look, but like,
it is.
Okay, maybe I need to, like, let's train this. Maybe I need to add more fat to my diet. Maybe it is so empowering. And actually, like, I believe that those 2.5 years of competing were the most therapeutic thing for me in my body dysmorphia, in my eating disorder past, because it actually gave me tools to feel comfortable no matter what. Like, I've intuitively ate for the past 3 years. I have not counted a macro. I've never gotten worried about it. I've gone from more muscle to less muscle to softer to all of the things, and never once, you know this, Dave, never once have I felt poorly about myself the way that I used to in the past, because I know that I have the knowledge and I have the power to do whatever I want. And that's where freedom exists. It exists in knowing that you have what it takes to achieve what you want to achieve. It actually exists too in doing what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. And when you set a goal, actually taking the steps necessary to reach it. And it's also why, like, me trying to talk, like, I was trying to get you on board and be like, I don't know if I should do this. I committed to the community, but it's probably a bad idea. I'm 40. I shouldn't get in a bikini on stage. Like, I was letting society and what I knew some people would say get in my head, right? Like, because I know there are going to be people that see me get on stage and they're like, here's Heidi trying to get attention again. But the reality, I don't give a what they think, because the reality is I know how I'm going to feel if I set a goal, if I said to my community and mostly to myself that I was going to do something and I found reasons why I shouldn't, you know?
I'm pretty sure she's not doing it. So, I mean, maybe this is going to be the surprise. She is competing the whole time, and this is all just like, oh, I kept it from everybody. But I have a feeling that's not the case. I think she did decide, hey, this is not right for me. And that's fine. I think that's the right choice. To be honest, I think the pushing yourself to do something you don't want to do because you promised someone else like a goal. I promised my parents that I would achieve this and this. It's like, yeah, but at the end of the day, it's like not, it's your life, you know, like your community will get over it, hopefully. And if they don't, that's down there. That's a problem with them. Like, I don't know. Thank you, Big Dill. Big Dill says, buy my book. Which book? Do you have a built through privilege book as well? Built through bodybuilding book? Which one? Which one do you have?
I will slowly buy you a boat.
Right?
I'm all about getting a free ride.
Me too. Heidi and Dave?
They truly have it all.
They truly have it all. Okay, we got a little bit more time left, but I think this is just interesting. I'm very interested in it, honestly. I'm interested to hear her mindset and to hear like what she has to say and whatever in this case, because I think she is being, in her version, honest, or her own. I think she's being honest. Like what she thinks is what she's saying right now, which I think is refreshing in a way, but also I just find it to be sad. Honestly, just really sad.
Because we all have reasons why we shouldn't do something. We just don't want those reasons to turn into excuses why we didn't, you know?
Yeah.
Like my word needs to be more powerful than any reason I have. And it sucks because I'm super scared. I'm out of the game of posing. I'm 40, my body, I'm super happy with it. But for that sport, part of me is like, I go back to fixed mindset. Like, am I even capable of doing it anymore? Like, I start to experience feelings and emotions and thoughts that people that I work with experience, right? And this is good for me. Like, I need to experience this. Like, I need to be scared. And I need to be scared, and I need to do it anyway. You know?
I do.
You know, what's cool is, like, I'm going to get to...
Dave. God, Dave. Yeah. Why don't you hear what she's saying and respond in a healthy way? How about, no, you don't need to do something you're scared of if you don't want to do it. No one's holding a gun to your head saying you have to compete on stage and be in a bikini. And she's the only one that thinks, oh, I'm 40, I can't do something. I would never in a million years would go, oh, no, fitness ends at 39. So I think this is her own, and obviously it is her own insecurity, but like, come on, Dave. Help her out here or something. Someone help this person.
To go home right now and share some of these experiences, some of these like human feelings and emotions and fears that I'm having with my 5-day Better Body Bootcamp crew. So right now I'm running it's a free program because there are, of course I have my challenges that are 60 days. I have different courses. I have events that I do, but not everybody can financially afford something, number one. And number two, 60 days is so big, so far. It feels like a mountain for people who are just starting out or people who are scared, right? So I decided to create a 5-day boot camp, a free 5-day.
Okay, Heidi, we know this is like a funnel to get people to do the challenge and it's over. So let's skip it because this is, by the time she posted this, it was already over. And also like sharing these feelings and emotions with these people. Why? These people are not your friends. These people are on the internet. They want to work out. Like you don't have to tell them how you feel about, you know, your body and at 40 and tell these feelings to someone like Dave, maybe someone more compassionate and caring and listening, but not a camera and not your, you know, free boot camp crew. That would be my suggestion as well. Okay, we're almost done.
But that is such a small piece of actual transformation because if you don't have the glue to make those stick, the diet and exercise doesn't matter. So I give workouts, I give nutrition, and they're simple workouts. They're like workouts that anyone could do. It's a program I'm super proud of. We have 14,000 people in the boot camp right now, and every day, in addition to the videos and the program that I give, I go live. This was like a little add-on last minute, and my like I'm just gonna go live for 5-10 minutes every day has turned into an hour plus a day because they're fun. Aren't they awesome?
They're amazing community.
They are, and
he's not listening.
It's a lot of work, like a lot, but it's also the thing I'm most passionate about. And what makes it worth it for me is seeing that they're actually grasping and understanding what I'm teaching and seeing how grateful they are for it. Like that's That's the best. Like, there's nothing worse than putting a lot of time into a gift and having a kid be like, I didn't want this.
What's next?
Yeah. And so to put so much time into a gift and to have it be received by an entire community of 14,000 people as like
children.
Holy moly, thank you for doing this for me. Like, it makes me want to keep doing, you know?
Yeah.
It makes me excited for the challenge.
Yes.
To come up.
Challenge is coming.
Challenge number 4. It's our
He's like he is thinking about something else in his head, and he has mastered the skill, which I cannot stand people who do this, who hear like 1 or 2 key words that the person's saying and going, yes, challenge, amazing, yes, you are great. They're not listening. They're just repeating the like 3 words to make it seem like, yes, I am comprehending, but they're not comprehending. They're just like placating you. I hate it. I hate that quality.
anniversary challenge.
It's our anniversary.
60-day get fit.
And that's how it ends. Okay. Great content. Okay, well, I have a feeling, like I said, that she's not doing it. I could be wrong, but I don't think she is. What is this? I have developed a rash on my mustache. Rash dash. Yeah, so I could be proven wrong, but I have a feeling that she's not going to be doing the competition. But, you know, only because I've seen her eat like marshmallow dream bars and videos, and she has, like I said, has not brought it up, has not posted anything in over a month, and it's supposed to be pretty soon. So that's my guess. I could be proven wrong. And yeah, I don't know what, like, posting the ad about, the thing is, like, we all know, like, it's common knowledge that free challenges, and even in Dave's like latest podcast, he talked about, you know, how to get people in the door to then want to spend money with you. And it's like, offer a free challenge, offer. So he's aware. I'm sure he's helping pull the strings of this, you know, the challenge or whatever for Heidi, at least in some capacity, giving her tips or suggestions or whatever. For people to act like, oh, this is a gift I'm giving my community, blah, blah, blah. It's like, first of all, she closed it after it was over the 5 days. When people wanted to stay and like use it as like a support group, she's like, no, we're closing it. Why would you do that? Because she wants people to pay the, you know, $250 to join the 60-day challenge so that they can join that community so that she can, you know, fund her lifestyle and have food on the table for her children. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, don't bullshit me when you say, oh, I'm just doing this as like as a great favor because people love it so much and they need my help. Okay, but also you're doing it to get people to pay eventually. So just be honest. Like, I think we all need to accept honesty better. You know, let's blame ourselves. Like, if someone were to say, hey, here's 5 days for free. I want you to join my 60-day challenge because that's how I support myself. And I think it's a really good paid program. There's accountability. There's a community. There's guest hosts. It's whatever. It's $250. If you can't afford it, no worries. I'll have another one coming soon. And maybe I'm having an app that's going to be cheaper, and maybe that's a better option. Will we hate you for it? I hope no. Be honest, to be like, well, I just want to change the world one, you know, before and after photo at a time. It's like, no, you don't. I just hate living in this false reality of like, oh, I want to change the world. I want to change the world. How are you going to do that? How are you going to change the world? I'm going to have an online life coaching business that costs $1 million a day, and I'm going to change the world by that. It's like, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear you say that anymore, okay? I don't want to hear it anymore. Sorry. Okay. And now, rant over. I would like to go into this female body. It's a perfect transition. Thanks, Heidi. So she's talking about, you know, wanting to push herself and to do this competition. And actually before we go into it, let's watch the video first before we do anything, because we're going to see some footage and stuff, and I think it'll be appropriate to get an idea of what we're talking about more here. So the Washington Post came out with an expose, basically claiming that female bodybuilders in the exact like competitions that Heidi was a part of say that they were sexually exploited. Now, let me find the one with Heidi in it. Okay, here's Heidi. Here's Heidi competing in 2018. This is the one that she won, and I think she got her pro card in. NPC News Online. Now, while as we read through this article, this is an important company, group. It's an important name to sort of remember. Okay, so this is what it is. You go on stage, you train for months and months and months, you don't eat or you eat whatever they tell you to eat. You work out a very specific way to do this on stage. Morally, there's nothing wrong about it, but I just find this to be, how is this not about your body and what your body looks like? 125%. And then Quest Nutrition, that's Lisa and Tom Bilyeu's business. And that's it. That is the entire thing. Like that was, okay, now, like, was that enough for her to be a winner? I don't know. You have to be a judge on the stage to decide that. But that is what it is. Like that is the full experience. Okay, we don't have to listen to this whole thing. This is a horribly done interview that Heidi did. We don't have to watch the whole thing. It's really bad. But this is another thing that she's on, NPC News Online, just again to show the connection between the Heidi Powell and Chris Powell and the article we're going to read. Great. I don't mean to hate on the lady that's interviewing her, but like, it's not very well done.
Hi, this is Linda Andrew with NPCNewsOnline.com here with our Bikini Masters overall winner, Heidi Powell, and new IFBB Pro. Congratulations. How do you feel?
I actually have chills right now, and it's so hot in here, but I have chills. I am just blown away, so grateful, so excited. I can't even tell you how much the NPC, I'm going to cry, has changed my life, truly. My husband and I have done so many things and accomplished a lot, but this is hands down one of my greatest accomplishments. Cannot thank all of you guys.
You look beautiful. Congratulations. Now, I hear that you and your husband are reality TV stars of extreme weight loss. How long have you guys been doing it?
So we actually shot the show for 5 seasons on ABC, and it's actually in syndication right now on TLC, OWN, and Discovery, and airing worldwide in 148 countries.
Oh my God. When did you have time to do this?
Well, between the 4 kids and the food line and the app we just launched, I'm not kidding you, it was really difficult, but it's proof. If I can do it with the crazy schedule that I have, anyone can do this. Anyone.
Exactly, ladies. She's saying no excuses. So what made
Absolutely no excuses. Okay, ladies, you heard it here first. No excuses. You need to be in fitness competitions while you have 4 children and a syndicated TV show. Okay? Thank you, Stella Black. Stella Black says, glitter bikini fun in a non-creepy way. It's just so ridiculous. I can't. Oh, man. I want a glittery bikini. My bikini when I was in pageants was just blue and regular. But now looking back, I was like literally 16 years old.
You weren't being a dick.
I was literally 16 years old.
I am not emotionally stable.
Why am I in a bikini on stage? Right?
There's Colleen.
There's Stella Black.
I didn't think about any of you.
Yeah, so she's going to talk about the show, no excuses, blah, 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 boring. Okay, but that's sort of the quality of NPC News Online. This was 5 years ago. It was posted in 2017, and Heidi won the NPC Masters Nationals over 35 bikini overall winner. That is what it is called. That is her title. There you go. Okay, so that's her. And then who is this? Okay, he's just part of like the allegations. Okay, let's do it. Let's read it. We'll go through the article and read it because I think it was very well done. It's called Built and Broken. Female bodybuilders describe widespread sexual exploitation. Okay. Oh, wait, no. Whatever. Okay. Actually, hold on one second. Let me... Dang, whatever. Oh, God. Okay, it's fine. Whatever. Okay, all right. Officials of bodybuilding's two premier federations have been sexually exploiting female athletes for decades, pressuring them to pose for nude photographs. Oh, wait, we were supposed to watch it. Okay, sorry. We're going to watch it first, and then we'll read it. Same thing. Exploited for decades, female bodybuilders speak out. Okay, sorry. Back on track.
And, of course, we'll see the exciting routines tonight on the final stage. On the center line, please.
It would be a wonderful thing if it was an honest sport where you could have the best physiques on stage winning because they deserve to win. But it's not an honest sport. It had nothing to do with how good you looked. It was all about what was happening behind the scenes.
Bodybuilding is a sport that has long promoted itself as the pinnacle of health, fitness, and strength. Athletes are judged by their muscle mass, definition, and symmetry, on top of their ability to hold certain poses.
It's basically like a muscle beauty pageant. They're looking for a whole package, is what they're judging for.
But a Washington Post investigation found that over the course of 2 decades, female athletes were sexually exploited by leaders within the most premier U.S. bodybuilding federations. Many women felt that the competitions were rigged, and that the success of their careers hinged on taking nude photographs and catering to the mostly male judges, promoters, and managers.
There were so many people that could have stopped what was happening. It was just like a circuit.
The Post spoke with scores of women who competed in contests run by the Manions, a family that oversees the sport's biggest empire in amateur and professional bodybuilding. They run both the Amateur National Physique Committee and the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness Pro League. According to critics and acolytes alike, the Manions have left an indelible mark on the sport over the last several decades. J.M. Manion in particular looms large in the industry.
We basically had to court JM. It's like, when you go to this show, go and look for JM, make sure he sees you and knows who you are.
J.M. Manion is the son of the league's president, Jim Manion, and the official photographer. He also runs a management company that has directed the careers of the sport's top female competitors and served as a gateway to endorsement deals, magazine covers, and other financially promising opportunities.
Okay, so just to catch everybody up, if you're new, if you haven't been here, if you're kind of like lost about who all these characters are. So basically, from my understanding, the group, the company that awards these trophies to female bodybuilders, to male bodybuilders, the guy, Jim, is the one who's like owns that. His son is the official photographer of the competition and also has a company where he trains women and represents women specifically, I guess. I don't know if he does men too or just women. And they also compete. So if you're a part of his talent group, how is that not a conflict of interest when your dad is the one who owns the entire company? So that's, I think, the insinuation they're making here. Like, he's the photographer. These women are going to now claim that, if you do these nude photos for him and he put them on like a website, and, whether they consented or not is up for debate in a lot of these women's cases. And he was making money off of these photos because he's the one involved and the one that is, the son of the owner. And also everyone knows who this guy is. He has pull with the judges. And there was some stat, we'll read about it, but it's like 18 out of the 20 that have won the last whatever months, years. Like 18 of them were under his company at some point. So they're saying favoritism. They're saying that, it's all rigged, which sort of makes sense. I mean, like I said, it's all subjective. How could you not be at some point tempted by doing what's going to make you most profitable if you don't have strong ethics,
But behind the scenes, JM was operating a vast network of paid websites that featured over 30,000 photographs of at least 200 female competitors. He took photos ranging from bikini shots to graphic sexual nudes.
There was no way he would have had that many beautiful women taking off their clothes in front of his camera or doing whatever else they were doing unless he was who he was in the business.
The Post reached out several times to JM for comment. He did not respond. The Post also reached out to Jim Manion for comment. In an emailed statement, a representative for Jim Manion responded that the MPC and IFBB Pro League are committed to providing a premium experience for our competitors, fans, event organizers, and partners. It goes on to say that the league has grown prize purses for female athletes and improved communications for our competitors to raise any concerns they may have with an event or their experience. And that all involved...
Like I said, the NPC News, okay, that I believe is also run by JM in some way. And Heidi's been on that website. Why is she not saying anything? Literally, it's not like, oh, I did that several years ago and I'm just not involved. You were at another fitness competition. I believe it's an IFBB competition, I think, that he was at. It seems very relevant. This came out 7 days ago. You know, I know why she's not saying something, but I think she should, either in agreement with the article and say, yes, I heard about that, and yes, I've seen it, and it's horrible, or, oh, I didn't know, but I believe the women that have come forward, or no, they're lying, and I 100% believe in the group that, you know, exists in the industry. But they've said nothing. I find that to be a disappointment.
With our organizations are committed to supporting our competitors.
The bodybuilding industry should be subject to very strict precautions for athletes because it is a subjective sport, because it is a judged sport. When you have these aesthetic sports, they are much more prone to different kinds of abuse.
You know, it's all about who you know and what kind of hookup you get. And it's not fair, but that's pretty much how they've made the industry.
The Post interviewed scores of former and current female bodybuilders about their experience with JM. Many described a relationship where they felt pressured to please JM and those within his immediate circle in order to advance their careers.
If you were signed by JM, if you were doing these nude photos on the website, you were going to be a pro and you were going to be a big name and you were going to get sponsored and you were going to just have this great life.
Mandy Henderson first fell in love with bodybuilding at 18.
Like, I was at the gym working out at like the age of 18 and I saw a female that she had muscle and I loved it and I totally thought, like, that's what I want to look like. I want to look like that kind of fitness model.
Henderson began competing in the mid-2000s. She met John Tuman, a show promoter and judge, who suggested she sign on with JM in order to get her pro card. The cost of competing can quickly add up, but only a small minority of bodybuilders ever make money. Earning a pro card not only allows athletes to compete in the most prestigious events, but it also means they can win greater prize money.
And so he just kept pushing like the JM thing. You know, you need a contract with JM management, JM this.
Henderson agreed to pose nude and received a contract from JM promising a 50-50 profit split for websites that involved quote-unquote Playboy-style photos. She said her first nude photo shoot with JM happened in Las Vegas during a competition weekend.
It was clearly said, like, if you do this photo shoot, you're going to get your pro card. So we go to this hotel room, and there's two other...
And again, Heidi has her pro card. I'm just going to say that. I don't know how she got it or how whatever. She has never said anything about, like, anything she's gone through that wasn't, you know, great and an amazing experience. So I'm not saying that anything happened, but they're talking about the pro cards as like this big thing that they want to get. Heidi does have hers. And she was telling Dave in that Instagram live thing or Instagram story, she was like, this is a big deal. And this sort of tracks with this, that she got it.
They're girls. And so we start taking pictures, and JM is the photographer, of course. Lingerie starts coming off and it's getting more and more revealing. At one point during the photo shoot, John Tuman came up behind me and I was wearing, I don't know if I was wearing anything or if I was just wearing skimpy lingerie, and he pressed the front of his body against me and I could feel his crotch area against my back area. Just sent chills up my spine. and it made me want to throw up. But in the back of my mind, I just kept thinking, just go with it, because this is going to get your pro card. Like, you just need to do a photo shoot and then you're going to get a pro card, because that's what these men keep telling you. I go and I do the show, and I end up not even in the top 15. I was just crushed. Like, here I am, I'm like, I just did this photo shoot, you know, completely naked, and I didn't even place in the top 15. And I remember John Tooman had said, just keep going, just keep going, just keep doing what, you know, JM is telling you to do, just keep being on the website, just keep doing this. And he said, and you'll get your pro card.
The Post reached out to Tooman, but he refused to hear Henderson's specific allegations. Instead, he responded, quote, "It's all lies," unquote. Henderson posed nude for at least one other group photo shoot. She never received any money for the photos. It would take several more years before Henderson earned her pro card at the USA's amateur competition in 2010. She quit shortly after.
The person that put in the most work and has the best physique, that's the person that should win. It should not be the person that is taking the nude pictures over here or doing whatever they're doing behind the scenes.
I think it's hard to overestimate just how much an athlete wants to win. Coaches know it, officials know it, other athletes know it. It's this giving up integrity by inches and having other people, I should say, take their integrity by inches.
Let's see if I can go back. Okay, so like it says 3 new divas are coming soon, and Jen Gates is one of them. I didn't think I was going to be on a porn site. I didn't say okay to any of this.
Jen Gates rocketed to the top of professional women's bodybuilding in the late 2000s. She signed on with JM in 2007 after turning pro and began to do photo shoots with him.
The photo shoots were super awkward and super cheesy and not good photos. JM had asked me if I could go topless or take my bottoms off, and I just wouldn't do it. And he never pressured me a whole lot because I always was very guarded and always said, I'm a mom, I can't, and grinned and bared it.
Not long after turning pro, Gates won in the figure division at Miss Olympia in 2008. But Gates' personal life was tumultuous. She had filed for divorce and was in the midst of moving out when her husband died by suicide.
Oof. Competing was not on my radar. It was the last thing I thought about. I had to take care of my kids, take care of myself, have a funeral, move everything out of my house that I'd lived in for 10 years. It was hard. It was hard.
Then Gates found out she was pregnant.
When I told JM I was pregnant, that's when I lost my sponsorship. I feel like they were just done with me. Like, I had a baby and I just kind of got the message that I didn't get the placing I deserved. So at that time, I just decided I was gonna walk away from it forever.
Oh no, have bad luck forever.
Like many other competitors, Ali Garcia knew she had to shoot with JM if she wanted to remain competitive in bodybuilding.
I shot with JM several times. I would ask, okay, what look are we going for? Is it going to be athletic? And he's like, well, just, pack, lingerie, thongs, swimsuits. It was like less was more. The less we showed was the better.
In 2013, at a show in Orlando, JM photographed Garcia with another male competitor at the hotel pool.
So that video, it was shot by John Howley, who, he would make some good content, but he always added a very perverted twist onto stuff. Like that video of Jason Poston and I, he loops a part where I laugh and I bend over, and his hand kind of slides down my back, and he loops it to make it look like, he's doing me doggy style. And it's like, why'd you have to take something and just trash it up? But he then does a shoot or a video of me talking about what it's like to shoot with JM.
JM really lets us be ourselves and become creative, and
I like to be collaborative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I make it a collaborative process. I am not a total control freak about it.
Good, yeah.
That's
what I like. And you've seen the images, and they're hot.
Let me tell you, I am pretty sure that I was just lying out of my face, because, I think part of it was genuine, but then there were other parts where I'm like saying things to make him look good. When I still hadn't seen a return on any of this excitement or investment, I'm just thinking I have to push myself. I have to keeping myself relevant.
Shortly after the shoot, JM approached Garcia about posing nude.
When he first showed me the website, when I saw like the girls were nude, like girls that I know, and it looked like softcore porn, and I wanted to have that spit the rice out, what the hell type of reaction, but I was like, oh, okay. You know, like, I see. But you don't know what to say, and you're not gonna be like, fuck that, I'm not doing that shit, because that's your boss. So now you start thinking like, is this what everyone else is doing? How can I keep this political advantage and not do that? I think I rode that as long as I could, to the point where I couldn't say anything but no. You know, it was just, I mean, that was my answer, but I felt like the moment I was like, no, everything was gonna change, which it did. I really tried to believe the industry wasn't about that, but they sure showed me.
JM's management group terminated Garcia's contract.
I thought it really sucked that it's like, dude, really? This is the only way I'm gonna, hit my goal? Guess I'm not gonna hit my goal.
When there's a power dynamic, we recognize throughout society that you cannot have consent. So even if it looks like some quote unquote consensual relationship, when there's a power dynamic between people, it's really not consensual.
The websites disappeared in 2015 with no apparent explanation. It's unclear how much income JM collected from the sites. But for athletes like Henderson, the damage was done.
It just left a really bad taste in my mouth. It wasn't about the sport anymore. It was about, were you taking pictures? Were you managed by JM? Were you doing everything that you were supposed to do? And it makes me really sad now to think that I allowed myself to go through that for 7 years and put myself through that for 7 years.
Okay, so that's a pretty good summary of it, and I appreciate the fit therapist for joining and talking about some of the names and like the divisions, because like I said, I'm not very familiar with what is what, and I could talk about pageant divisions. I could talk about that, at least in the state of Florida, how that all works, like between Miss America and Miss USA. Which ones go to which, and that whole industry is another scam. Okay, let me just say, scam alert for the pageant industry, because it's all the same thing, similar to this. Who you're managed by, who you're trained by. It's everyone knows everybody. It's one of those things like, oh, are you in the in crowd or are you a newbie? And you can still win, I guess, if you're a new person, but it's much more likely you're going to win if you're known by the owners and they promote you in that way. Okay, so let's go back to the article and read through it. Reading through it. Okay. I'm going to raise myself up there. Reveal all my personal data. Okay. Officials of bodybuilding's two premier federations have been sexually exploiting female athletes for decades, pressuring them to pose for nude photographs, posting these photos to softcore pornography sites, and at times manipulating contest results in favor of cooperative competitors, a Washington Post investigation has found. For more than 15 years, J.M. Manion, okay, that's the guy with the yellow baseball cap, backwards cap, whose father, Jim, that was the older man that they showed, has been running amateur and professional bodybuilding contests for decades, shot the photos, and operated a network of paid softcore pornography websites that at one point advertised over 30,000 images of competitors in the sport. A post-review of website archives identified more than 200 female athletes in photos ranging from casual bikini shots to graphic sexual images, including those of nude women together in beds, bathtubs, and showers. One of JM's site's fitness divas bluntly stated, "Your favorite fitness athletes naked." Okay, so that's like the summary of the main issue. Now here's Jen Gates, who won the figure category. So there's figure, there's bikini, and there's physique and bodybuilding. Is that right? There's like different categories depending on like what look you're going for. So she was in the figure category. Correct me if I'm wrong. Jen Gates, who won the figure category at the prestigious Olympia contest in 2008, graced the covers of fitness magazines and earned enough sponsorship money to quit her nursing job. Her manager, JM, asked her to take off her bikini top and bottoms for photos. Gates refused and was surprised recently to learn from Post reporters that her swimsuit photos had been featured alongside nude female competitors on one of JM's pornography sites. So even though she was not nude, they were still posted on the same website. She says, "I never consented to having my pictures put on a soft porn site," Gates said during an interview at her home in Indianapolis. Less than 3 years after winning the Olympia, Gates gave up the sport in disgust and warns young women to stay away from the contests. Again, like, not to like bring Heidi into this necessarily, but since we, transitioned that way from her being a part of this world, in some small way, or in a big way at one point. And he even was considering going back and maybe still competing in the future. Why is she not saying anything? Why doesn't she say something about it? Or not support the sport anymore if this is truly what's going on? But okay, let me stop judging her so harshly. Interviews with dozens of competitors, judges, officials, and others connected to the sport reveal the systematic exploitation of female athletes, often rendered vulnerable by extreme dieting and workouts, lack of financial stability, and drive to win. The Post found that some women believed their scores depended on their willingness to pose for sexual photos or to please the sport's leading judges, promoters, and managers, almost all of whom are male. Okay? JM did not respond to the questions the Post emailed him about the allegations. Rob Rossetti, a prominent trainer who sometimes attended the photo shoots for JM's pornography websites, said the women had consented. Now, I think they said, okay, they're not being, taken photographed in the bathroom. I don't think those were ever the allegations, but like the woman in the video said, it's not really consensual if the person that is asking you to do something is the one that is determining your future as an employee or as a winner of a said competition where there's money on the line. Now that's where I would say that's the difference. Quote, "In the very few photo shoots I was asked to attend, I witnessed no athlete being forced, pressured, persuaded, intimidated, or coerced into posing nude by JM or any other individual assisting in the photo shoot," Rossetti texted the Post. "It was done completely on the athlete's own free will." Okay, and that's possibly the truth as well, that, this is all made up and it's all just a ruse to make JM and the sport look bad. You always got to open the space and the possibility that could be true. Mandy Henderson, a former sheriff's deputy in Santa Clara County, California, detailed in an interview how the pressure was exerted on women. She agreed to nude photography with the exception of She agreed to nude photography with the expectation of winning a pro card, which allows athletes to move from amateur competitions to the professional league. Thank you. A pro card can mean more money, sponsorships, and the chance to compete in the headlining competitions, the Arnold Classic and the Olympia. Okay, so we're going to get to in a second the difference between the male and female winner prize money, but not yet. At an amateur contest in 2009, she placed 4th and was surprised that it was taking so long for her to earn her pro card. When she asked why, she said a prominent judge told her, "Because you didn't come to my room last night." Okay, this sounds like Harvey Weinstein style environment. Another athlete who was at a shoot attended by Rossetti described a humiliating experience in which JM told her to undress and enter a shower with 2 naked women to pose for photographs. Even though she'd previously told Rossetti she didn't want to pose nude, said the woman who spoke on the condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation, "I cannot tell you how terrible of an experience it was." And that was the person that was in the video. Ali Garcia, a bikini competitor, said she refused to do the nude photos and had to fend off advances from judges and promoters as gently as she could to keep her career alive. She abandoned the sport in 2017 when she concluded that she would never get a top win if she didn't have sex with the power brokers. Quote, "This is the only way I'm going to hit my goal," she thought. "Guess I'm not going to hit my goal." The leading amateur and professional federations are run by Jim Manion. That's the older guy that we saw in the video. JM's father, a 78-year-old ex-bodybuilder from his offices in Pittsburgh. Jim Manion presides over the National Physique Committee, NPC, okay, and the International Federation of Bodybuilding and Fitness Pro League, known as the IFBB Pro League. Okay. Now, I have no idea what the difference is in the ins and outs of those two leagues, but that's what he controls, presides over, okay? In response to a detailed query from the Post sent to Jim Manion, the two organizations issued a statement through Hammond Strategies, a crisis communications firm that I looked for a website on and I could not find. Just saying. The guy has LinkedIn but doesn't have a website. But did not respond directly to any of the questions. A website that I could find, I'll say, just in case. This is what the crisis communications firm said. As part of our efforts to grow the sport, we have expanded events and opportunities for all competitors, grown prize purses for female athletes, and improved communications for our competitors, to raise any concerns they may have with an event or their experience. This statement said, we address all concerns raised with the utmost care, concern, and timeliness. The statement said that more than half of registered competitors are women and that many shows feature all female judging panels. Okay, that's good. At bodybuilding's biggest competitions, JM can be found front and center, his baseball cap worn backwards as he snaps pictures of muscled competitors on stage. You saw that in the video. JM was a teenager when his father took the helm of bodybuilding's newly created amateur organization. In 1977, the release of the film Pumping Iron, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, bodybuilding exploded onto the public consciousness and spawned a fitness boom in the 1980s. And it's interesting because one of the Post reporters is part of the story, and his dad was the one who promoted that movie or directed that movie. He was directly involved with the creation of that movie. It's an interesting tidbit. Bodybuilding is both a sport and art form. Athletes sculpt their bodies through weight training and diet to compete in contests where they are judged on their muscular development after performing poses on stage. The sport has multiple categories based on weight class and the degree of musculature. I have no idea what that is. Ranging from the most muscled bodybuilding to the lesser built categories of figure and bikini. Okay, the latter two are for female athletes only. So figure and bikini are for women only, and bodybuilding is for women and men. Okay, here's the difference between men and women price-wise. Prepare to be utterly shocked, okay? Prize money is awarded to the top 5 winners in the pro contests. At the top of the game is the Olympia, with Mr. Olympia claiming a reported $675,000 last year, and Miss Olympia just $60,000. Most of the hundreds of contests each year pay far less. Okay, so now we're in the situation where you aren't making that much money. It's taking all this time and effort and training and dieting and dedication, and you're making $60,000 if you're the ultimate top winner. This is where the exploitation is very easy, I would think, I would imagine, I would guess, to occur. When you have people who are not making that much money and who are desperate to have some money, that's when things get rough. And it's unfortunately with some of these amateur sports in other ways too, they say that with the Olympics as well, you can't be a professional athlete I think they changed some of the rules, but there were certain rules where you couldn't make money. You couldn't make a lot of money if you wanted to compete in the Olympics. So you had to sort of make a choice. And then they were, in a position where you're vulnerable. Anyways, okay. Yes, I agree. I agree with everyone's comments. JM, who runs the sport's online news operation, okay, that's the one that I was saying, the NPC News Online is that website that we watched the interview from. Also oversaw a management company that directed the careers of the top female competitors, including Gates. So JM has the website with the weirdo interview. I should say weirdo, awkward, badly audioed interview, and the videos of the competitors walking on stage. And he also has a management company that directed the careers of the top female competitors, including Gates. He served as a gateway to endorsement deals, magazine covers, and other financially promising opportunities, and could shut down income potential or competitive success if an athlete crossed him, numerous competitors said. Okay, numerous competitors, not just one, Numerous. 2 former officials told the Post that they witnessed other officials either inflating scorecards in favor of competitors managed by JM or trying to. Steve O'Brien, who served as a judge and district chairman of the NPC for Northern California, recounted 2 incidents when he said John Tooman, a judge, changed scores once after O'Brien observed him discussing the placings with Jim and JM Manion. Jim Rockwell, who was once the head judge of the Olympia and a close associate of Jim Manion, so that's the dad, before falling out, said that Tooman once chided him at an event about his placings and suggested he make changes. Tooman leans over to me and says, "You know that girl that you got in 4th or 5th place? That's one of JM's girls," Raquel recalled. He said he did not change his scores. Okay, so he's basically accusing Tooman of trying to get them to change the scores up from 4th and 5th to a higher ranking. Okay, obviously. O'Brien and Rockwell said that some years ago, Tooman was suspended as a judge after his then fiancée provided evidence that Tooman had affairs with contestants while he was judging. Several athletes also complained to officials about Tooman's behavior, they said. Months later, Jim Manion called O'Brien to discuss reinstating Tooman, which O'Brien resisted, but Manion overruled him. Jim's remedy was, "I'm not going to have him judge women," O'Brien said. Well, that didn't last very long. Soon, Tooman was back to judging all kinds of contests across the country, O'Brien said. Tooman declined to comment on specific allegations. Okay, now, that guy, just so we know who we're talking about here, I believe this is Mr. Tooman. Okay, here is a look at who this person is, just so we have some idea. This is the guy who is accused of, the fiance has accused of sleeping with the competitors and was banned and then reinstated, according to the article.
John, I'm going to let you take over.
Hi, I want to thank my wife, my beautiful wife, Noelle, for interviewing me. It's the first time she has interviewed me. I also want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Jim Manion, the president of the NPC and the president of the IFBB Pro League, for giving my partners and I, Ted Williamson, Hani Rambot, and I, the opportunity to be part of NPC IFBB for close to 30 years. We are very proud of the product and the customer service that NPC and IFBB provides to all the athletes. And
so they're satisfied. He's satisfied with what they've provided these athletes. Okay, great. Just so you know, that's who we're talking about. I like to show faces as possible because, I don't know, it helps me like understand and kind of get a better connection to the story when I'm reading it written form. Okay. So that's him. All right, let's see. Okay, so he declined to comment on specific allegations. Here's a photo from 2022. That's the Arnold Classic in Columbus. Rockwell said he often observed Jim Manion complimenting JM's clients to the judges during contests. Quote, "And these are the women that were winning," he added. The federations declined to answer questions about JM's influence on the contests, but the Post found that at the 2013 Olympia, among the 20 athletes who placed in the top 10 of the bikini or figure divisions, so that's the female-only categories, at least 18 were at one time listed on JM's business websites as clients. Okay, that to me paints a fairly interesting figure. The Post attempted to contact more than 80 of the 200 athletes who appeared on JM's websites. The majority did not respond to requests for comment. 20 women agreed to speak to Post reporters about their experiences. Of those, 9 women who had posed nude agreed to be interviewed, with 8 speaking on the condition of anonymity, oh my God, I can never pronounce that. Anonymously, okay, let's just say that. Out of fear of retribution from the Manion family and damage to their current careers if the photos received public attention. Several women described personal problems and vulnerabilities that made them susceptible for posing nude. Financial strain, troubles at home, or feeling they had no other option if they wanted to advance in the sport. Okay, this is the problem. This is a problem when, I don't know, this is the problem when you're being told like this is something you need to do to prove to yourself that you're worthy of being a person or being a woman or whatever. And that's where I find the message between what Heidi's saying about like, I need to do this because it makes me uncomfortable. This is something I need to do to prove to myself. If it makes you uncomfortable, there's probably a reason. Even if it's like a feeling in your stomach that something's wrong, it could be because something's probably wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, this is a thing you have to overcome and do. And it sucks that like, I don't know, it just sucks that this is like what's happening. The women told the Post that nude photos shoots were often held a day or two before the weekend competitions, and they believed that their odds of winning depended on their state of undress. So they just happened that a couple days before they're gonna go on stage among people who know the judges. Now they're doing these nude photo competitions. So it's sort of, again, wink, wink, nod, nod. You want to win? Okay, do this naked photo shoot. That's what it seems like. The events were so regular, a former judge and top Manion lieutenant, Lee Thompson, told the Post that they were called Thursday shower nights. Okay? Thompson, who split with the Manions several years ago, said that Jim Manion would sometimes clear out of his hotel suite so that JM could do the shoots there, indicating that the elder Manion was aware of his son's photo shoots. Okay, so this is not like, oh, the son is just doing this stuff, according to this article, on his own. It's a coordinated effort. JM advertised fan clubs of certain women, charging roughly $10 a month for access to their photos. Oh, how nice of him to pimp out these women, literally, on the internet. Several women said they did not know they had been featured on the websites until Post reporters notified them. Other women described signing contracts that promise a 50-50 profit split with JM's company, which is a horrible deal, along with a regular review of invoices. With one exception, the women told the Post they did not recall receiving money from income the websites generated. One woman said she got just $40. Post reporters reviewed 3 athlete contracts along with emails exchanged between JM or his associates and some of the competitors. Okay, so not only was he putting these women's pictures online, he was making money for them and not paying them for it. Allegedly. Okay, and this is Nancy Hogshead Makar. She is an Olympic gold medalist swimmer and a lawyer who runs Champion Women, a group that advocates for girls and women in sports, said that bodybuilding managers, judges, or promoters may have more sway over athletes because the sport is based on subjective scoring. That's what I was saying. That there's not a weight that you have to lift. There's not a hoop that you can throw the ball in. It is what that judge thinks on that day, and it's up to them to rank you how they see fit. And with human issues, with human decisions, human errors can occur. The power dynamic means that the sport has a responsibility to protect its athletes, she said. The bodybuilding industry should be subject to very strict precautions for athletes. It's not consent when it's your boss and it's someone that holds power over you. The Manion's bodybuilding empire is a private, for-profit company with no oversight structure or requirement to share revenue or membership numbers. Okay, that's also something I find interesting. It's not like there's a coalition of groups that is regulating this and that there's multiple companies that are, getting overseen by anybody ethically. And how, again, like, this is where this stuff runs rampant. And this is my opinion. I think this thing should be boycotted completely, this whole industry. And you might say, well, it's only the women and the men, it's totally different. I think the men should step up and say no as well. And until the whole sport's fixed, let's all burn it to the ground. But, I'm not involved in the industry, so I know it's different when you're, competing and this is something you're passionate about. It's easy for me to say, someone who's not doing it, but it just doesn't seem fair. Competitors described an overall lack of transparency within the sport. They told the Post that the organizations are devoid of any meaningful safeguards for athletes, such as a human resources department, health insurance, or unions that could protect against abuses of power. For Gates, the sport lost its way with the addition of the bikini division, which was introduced to the Olympia competition in 2010. Okay, so that's the less built body category, one of them. I don't know what woman would want other women to stand up on stage and turn around and show their behinds and then be told to walk halfway across the stage and poke their butts out. Why are we doing this? I mean, that's the exact pose that we saw Heidi do in that video. While Gates said her ability to say no to powerful men, including JM, spared her from the most degrading situations, others said they sometimes felt trapped in hotel rooms with power brokers who could make or break their careers. Former competitor Amber Littlejohn, who now works as a lawyer in D.C., said the culture values compliance and punishes those who speak out. She said women in the sport find themselves ripe for predation. Oh my God, I can't read. Ripe for predation, becoming prey of a predator. Because of the amount of money they invest and their dependence on the Manion family to succeed. Jeweled posing bikinis can cost $1,000. Okay. Yikes, because I guess they're bejeweled or whatever. Ugh. And women reported spending thousands of dollars to compete. That's also true with pageants as well. The dresses are insanity, like thousands of... I got mine thrifted when I went. So I got 2 dresses. One was my prom dress and one was a thrifted dress, so I didn't have to pay that. But the joining fee to like enter is like $500. And they tell you, because like, you know, they're like, oh, you just go, because you get a sponsorship ad space in the book that you could like get a manicure salon or something to sponsor you. And that's what they suggest you do if you don't have the money. But like 99%, including myself, like I used my ad for like Save the Manatee Foundation when I did it one year. And the other girls, like just their parents put their photo in like, good luck, honey. You know, they said like you can get sponsored, but absolutely no one that I knew that competed got sponsored. It was like their parents were putting up the $500 entry fee. And the $500 entry fee basically pays for the stage and the judges to be there. And if you win, then you get a free entry into the next competition, the next level. And I did the Miss USA, not the Miss America. So there was no talent that needed to be performed. So if you're a Miss USA, you do local, state, national, like Miss USA, and then Miss Universe. That's like the ultimate path that you can take. Anyways, off topic. I'm not surprised at all by anything that can be said about these people because I've watched them do it for so long, said Little John, who posed one time in a bikini for JM. Nothing has changed for the athletes. If anything, it's gotten worse. Epic booty pose. Okay. After an amateur event in New Jersey earlier this year, JM lined up 9 of the top female competitors on the asphalt in front of a New Jersey Marriott, their backs to him. All right, so this will be the epic booty pose, he tells them, according to video footage posted on the NPC News online website. That's the website I brought up before with the different videos, interviews. He directs the women to stick out their butts and brace themselves with a hand on the athlete next to them. JM, now 59, grew up in the bodybuilding world and then became official photographer and senior writer for NPC News in the mid-'80s when it was a magazine. JM's ventures converged in the late 90s when he launched his erotic fitness paid website to sell topless and fully nude photos of star female bodybuilders. Gym workouts sans tops are so rare, the website stated. How many times have you been in a gym, seen a fine babe, and wished she was doing those chest flies topless? Oh my God.
I want to throw up. Hold on.
Erotic Fitness folded in 2000, but JM soon launched larger websites, Alluring Fitness and Fitness Divas. Over time, his photography grew more sexually graphic and targeted in its attempts to lure paid subscribers. The websites disappeared in 2015 with no explanation. It is unclear how much income JM collected from the sites. A post-review of JM's past websites found that of the more than 200 featured athletes, a third posed in bikinis, which are traditionally worn for bodybuilding and fitness competitions. More than a quarter of the women pose either fully or partially nude or in suggestive settings, according to archived images of the website reviewed by Post reporters. A smaller number pose in lingerie. For others, the nature of the photography could not be discerned from archival screenshots. A handful of women said they had no problem with lingerie or sensual photographs and did not view the photography as a significant departure from a sport judged on one's appearance in little clothing. I find this so interesting because it does sound like it's part of like the porn industry or the adult entertainment industry, more so than it is a fitness industry, at least when it comes to women. Now, for men, it seems like, yes, this is an integral thing that Dave Hollis can go and do and prove to himself that he's a dedicated man that can, stick to his own routine, whatever. But for women, it's like, oh no, this is like, you're basically in lingerie, so you might as well just pose for these photos. It's very interesting, the split and how different it's perceived. I actually loved doing pictures, said Timia Morova, a former professional competitor who was born in the former Czechoslovakia. She said she benefited from JM's career management in the 90s, when then, in her early 20s and knowing little English, she tried to adjust to life in the United States. Another perfect position to be vulnerable, but she seems to be happy, so that's good. He was very nice to me. He never pushed me to do anything, she said, noting that she never posed nude, nor did JM ask her to do so. As far as I know, the girls I worked with, they never told me they were pushed to do anything. Several women spoke to the Post about their experiences on the condition of anonymity to protect their privacy and out of fear of retaliation. One woman who competed from 2008 to 2010 said that she signed with JM because she believed he would look out for her and help her gain a platform in the fitness industry. Her first photo shoot took place with other women, all in bikinis, on a California beach. But the next photo shoot took a troubling turn, she said. A couple of days before a competition, she said, she was asked to join two women in a hotel room wearing lingerie and posing in bed. Then JM asked her to remove her clothing. She agreed. I felt that if I said no, that could end my career, she said, but that could have just been me. I knew how known and powerful JM was in that world, and that was the choice I made. I call it the dark side. She recalled signing an agreement that promised an equal profit split with JM's company, though she no longer has the document. She said she never received any compensation for the images, nor was she aware that they remained advertised on the website through 2014, though she had quit the sport 4 years earlier. Agreeing to the photography stripped the joy from the sport, she said. I felt ashamed. I felt like a failure. I felt scared. I felt like I made poor decisions, and then I felt trapped. That's horrible. All right, we're almost done. Ish. A second woman, then a single mother who competed in the early 2010s, described a similar rapid progression from an initial bikini shoot to nude photography. That's how he operates, she said, of JM, noting that women developed a whisper network to warn one another of what was next. And that's also very common in these industries. It's like, I heard in like even like the New York comedy scene, like a lot of the people, especially women that were in it, like knew about, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Oh my God, Louis C.K., that was known in the circles, but everyone would just like watch out for him. And that seems to be something I hear about a lot. Like, and same thing with Harvey Weinstein. People were joking about it on like news or, award shows. And it was like this like known secret, or like Leo DiCaprio, like his whole thing with like women and all that. Like usually this stuff is talked about before it's brought, into attention. And some of it is because they don't want to ruin their career. I get that. They don't want to be the one to step out, and they don't want to be called like a liar. It's hard to prove this stuff, but it's really powerful when a group of people come together and, speak their truth. Excuse me. Hold on. There's a lot of reading, sorry. Okay. She said holding such photo shoots before competitions amounted to taking advantage of women who dieted and trained to the extreme for months, knowing that contest results were on the line. A third woman who competed in the mid to late 2000s said that JM once suggested she dress in comic hero costumes, catering to his fascination with comic book culture and his desire to show real-life female bodybuilders as fictional, sensual superheroes who fought off villains. Interesting. Then she said he directed her to strike a sexy pose and undress. Though she could not locate the document, she recalls signing a contract that included language about photo shoots and paid websites and promised a 50-50 profit split with JM's company. She did not have a problem with tasteful nudity and needed the money. Bodybuilding was not cheap, she said. But after being photographed, she felt mortified, especially when several contest judges remarked that they had seen her photos. JM wanted her to promote the website to drive up membership numbers, she said, but she couldn't bring herself to do it. I never got $1, she said. Not too long after, JM terminated her contract, telling her, "I never made any money off of you," she said. The effort to recruit women to pose provocatively extended beyond the Manions. Multiple women described close associates of the family who introduced them to JM and encouraged them to do whatever he asked, saying that it would launch their careers from amateur status to professionals. Earning a coveted pro card could make bodybuilding less of an expensive hobby and more of an income-generating career. The women said the network of enablers allowed sexual harassment to thrive in plain sight. They described judges and promoters requesting private visits to their hotel rooms and sponsors making sexual passes. When Gates arrived to Los Angeles in 2009 to promote a supplements company, the owner, Mo El-Osawi, okay, I wrote him down. Let's see. This guy. Okay, so this one still says CEO of Extreme Nutrition of New Zealand. He's the president of the New Zealand IFBB Pro League, Mr. Olympia judge, two-time Mr. Olympia top 10 finalist, husband, father, brother, friend. Okay, this guy. This is his back. And in the comment it says, when you're trying to hit back double biceps and you see da-da-da-da-da-da and President Jim Manion are looking at you. So, there you go. Okay, this guy. When Gates traveled to Los Angeles in 2009 to promote a supplements company, the owner, Mo El-Osawi, asked her to stay with him. She called JM to ask how to handle the request since she did not feel comfortable. JM told her she risked making the sponsor angry. She booked her own hotel. On a trip to New Zealand, Gates said El-Mosawi made an aggressive pass at her while the two were traveling together. She bolted from his truck to escape, she said, and shortly afterward recounted the story to her then partner, whom she has since married, and a coach. The Post confirmed that account with both of them. Reached for comment in New Zealand, El-Mosawi denied any impropriety. I honestly can't believe she would say anything negative about me, he texted the Post. I have always treated her with ultimate respect, and when she came to New Zealand, she met with my wife and kids. Okay. Henderson, the former sheriff's deputy, heard about JM's success as a manager from Tumen, whom she met through a trainer at her gym. Tumen, okay, that one is this guy. Again, just to remind you, that's Tumen. Assured her that if she signed with JM and did the photo shoot, she said she would win her pro card. Henderson recalled that in 2005, the day before her first competition, Tumen told her to visit his hotel room to learn how to pose. I was a little nervous to meet anybody in their hotel room by myself, she said. I was a cop at this time, so I did have a little bit of a clue that maybe going into someone's hotel room, a male that I had just met, would not be a good idea. Her husband and young son tagged along. Tumen was clearly surprised when he opened the door, she said. The look on his face, it was kind of like, oh, you brought your husband and your son, she said. It was kind of like that, like, oh, I didn't expect that. Tumen also served as the competition's head judge. She placed poorly, and Henderson said, why is the judge teaching posing to the competitors the night before of the competition? That just seems like completely unethical. Okay. Tumen also served as competition's head judge. She placed poorly, and Henderson said that Tumen then suggested she meet JM for career guidance. Over the next 2 years, despite posing for JM in a bikini photo shoot, Henderson continued to struggle in competitions. She said Tumen assured her that doing more photo shoots and signing with JM would result in a pro card. In an email to JM, which Henderson shared with the Post, she wrote that she had no issue with nudity and was eager to take photos. JM sent her a contract with her name filled in, promising a 50-50 profit split for websites that involve Playboy-style photos. Henderson recalls signing it and faxing it back, although the emails do not confirm that the agreement was ever finalized. Her first nude photo shoot occurred in a Las Vegas hotel room with 2 other women during a competition weekend. She said JM took the photos while Tumen directed the women. In one photo, Henderson appears nude with the other athletes, according to archive website images. In another photo, the 3 women pose in bed together wearing high heels and red lingerie. Quote, it was, John saying, okay, take off your tops and okay, tug on that. You guys pretend to look at each other and pretend to kiss or do this. You turn around and stick your butts out and we're fully naked. I just remember thinking to myself, okay, this is all worth it. I was now doing this shoot and I was going to get my pro card. And then I was going to go and be this big famous fitness girl. During the shoot, she said Tumen approached her from behind. He put his hands on my shoulder, and he put his groin against my rear end, she said. He told her that she looked really, really good and that the photo shoot looked really hot. She laughed it off, but felt deeply uncomfortable. It was absolutely disgusting, she said. Reached last week by the Post, Tumen said, I don't know what you are talking about. I'm a married man. I'm a family man. I have no idea what you're talking about. Asked whether he wanted to hear about specific allegations, Tumen said, no, I don't, because it's all lies. Okay. Henderson posed nude for at least one other group photo shoot. Her husband, Kenneth Henderson, said in a phone interview that his wife frequently confided in him about what was happening. There was a normalcy. It wasn't like you said no. I never heard of someone saying no. At a 2009 national competition, Henderson placed 4th. She was livid that her pro card status remained elusive despite agreeing to nude photography. Once off stage, she confronted Tumen saying, what the F? Why didn't I get my pro card? When he told her she hadn't visited him the night before, she grew even angrier. Henderson raised her voice and asked, so you're saying that because I didn't go to your room and give you a blowjob or F you, I didn't get my pro card today? Tumen told her that she had misunderstood the comment, she said. In 2010, Henderson placed 1st in the USA Championships, an NPC competition, and finally earned her pro card. Then she quit the sport. It sucks. It was not the best person on stage that was winning, she said. It was the person that was JM's favorite or whoever was doing the most for JM and whoever would bring in the most money. Henderson's law enforcement career later ended in scandal after she was accused of faking an injury and improperly collecting workers' compensation benefits. In 2019, she pleaded no contest to a felony count of making a false or fraudulent claim or statement and was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest. After successfully completing probation, Henderson's record was expunged, according to county court records. That's interesting. She has returned to the sport, which is even more interesting, competing in the Manion's IFBB Pro Masters Bikini division for athletes over 40. I think that'd be the one that Heidi would be in, I believe. She said that this time her eyes are open. It's still a toxic environment. It hasn't changed much, she said. I am truly competing for myself. Okay. Team Bombshell. Thompson, a former senior judge on the bodybuilding circuit, admits to witnessing inappropriate behavior and engaging in it himself. Sins, he said, that he acknowledged only after finding religion. Okay, so this is a former senior judge on the bodybuilding circuit. So it doesn't say exactly where, but that he was a part of the problem. Thompson said that early in his judging career, he got a quick education in the power that judges hold over athletes. While in his hotel room, Thompson said he got a call from Shannon Day, a coach for bodybuilders who now runs a group of competitors called Team Bombshell. Day told him that she wanted to send a woman to his room to make sure that she looked great for the next day's competition. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great. Okay. If you're a judge, why? I don't get it. If you're a judge, that should be, you're judging on them on stage. That's it. There's no hotel room. Let me show you how to do it, ladies. Like, it's disgusting. No. Bad idea. I'm like, yeah, okay, that's great, Thompson said. Like, I don't even know what judges do at this point. Okay. Then he said the woman walked into his room, dropped her robe, and was naked underneath. He said she began to spin around and asked him, is there anything that I might do to make your life a little easier today? Thompson sheepishly said no. Later that evening, he said that Tumen, the show promoter, quipped, I heard you didn't partake of the fruit. God. Art Sims, Chief Information Officer and General Counsel for Team Bombshell, denied the allegation in an email to the Post. Ms. Day denies any knowledge of any such conversation or any such incident that Mr. Thompson alleges occurred to which he was attributed any participation or knowledge thereof. Okay. After that, Thompson said his life spun out and he had frequent sexual encounters with competitors. In 2015, Thompson fell out publicly with the Manions after a legal dispute over the future of the organization in which he tried to establish a rival bodybuilding federation. So, okay, this could be seen as this guy has beef with the JM people and, you know, could he be lying? I don't know. It's all very, again, subjective. Like, this is what, there's issues with this whole industry. Like, you don't know who to trust or who to listen to. Several of the women who posed nude described being recruited by Team Bombshell's Day and Rossetti. The couple have since divorced, but Day continues to run Bombshell. One woman, a former Bombshell team member who spoke on the condition of anonymity out of privacy concerns, shared emails from Day that instructed her top athletes on how to keep JM happy during photo shoots. Quote, "This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to shoot with the man who made the careers of some of the greatest IFBB pros," Day wrote in April 2009. "I cannot stress enough how fortunate we are to have been chosen." The email included numbered rules for the shoot at Manion Studio in Pittsburgh. No full bottom suits, Brazilian and thong bottoms only, Day wrote. Absolutely, no complaining. If it's cold, you don't act cold. If it's hot, don't act hot. Hungry, don't say a word, etc. This is such a thing that is put on women, I think, by other women or men as well, that it's like if you want to be successful in show business, you need to not complain ever. And that's something that I was told by my mom, you know, I was never doing anything like this, but like she would always say, you know, don't complain. Don't ever say anything that could make you stand out in a negative way because you won't be chosen. Like in the pageants, for example, like don't ever say anything's wrong or else you'll be, you know, blacklisted immediately. And it's so detrimental to women, men as well, but like it's so common. I feel like it's like there are all these things going on and you're told like if you don't want to be difficult and you want to find success, just shut up and be quiet. And I hate that that's still going on. Okay. She added that no friends, boyfriends, or husbands could attend. The Bombshell team member said she attended a photo shoot in a hotel room with JM, another female competitor, and edible props, including whipped cream and chocolate. JM photographed the scene. "I kind of felt like this is the game and you've got to play along because this is the son of the head of the sport." Yeah. A second Bombshell member who spoke on the condition of anonymity to protect her privacy recalled that she had repeatedly made it clear to both Rossetti and JM that she would pose topless but would never agree to full nudity. At a national competition roughly a decade ago, JM requested that she attend a photo shoot involving 2 other women. "I hear JM call my name and I'm thinking he needs me to hold a reflector or a light or something," she said. She rounded the corner in the hotel and saw JM standing near a bathroom and Rossetti sitting on a love seat. "I'm like, hey, what do you need?" she recalled. JM nodded toward the 2 women who were naked in the shower and he says, "Get in." And I'm like, "What?" she said. And he says, "Get in with them." She looked to Rossetti for help, she said, because he also knew her objections to full nude photographs, but he did not intervene. "You pulled the rug out from under me and set me up," she thought. The woman said she viewed non-compliance as career suicide. She undressed and stood in the corner of the shower as far away as possible from the other 2 women. When it was over, she went back to her hotel room, sick to her stomach. Rossetti told the Post that at the shoots he attended, the women signed a release form before the shoots and were well aware, days in advance, that they were glamour fitness photography sessions, he said in a text message. What the athletes brought to the shoots was their decision. Outfits were not provided by anyone. If they wished to be photographed in swimsuits, lingerie, implied nude, or nude, it was done completely on the athlete's own free will. Okay, blacklisted. Many of the women interviewed said that saying no to the Manions had its price. Ava Cowan, who competed professionally in the figure category, said JM attempted to sign her in the mid-2000s after she showed early promise, but a friend who was a lawyer reviewed the contract, telling Cowan she would be out of her mind to sign. "He will own you," the friend warned. After she blew off JM's proposed contract, Cowan said she placed poorly in a national show. Frustrated, she took to an online bodybuilding forum to voice her objections over the family's outsized influence. "I posted a paragraph about how corrupt everything was, how you have to sign a contract to place well, how it's all like the mafia," she said. Less than an hour later, she deleted the post. But the damage was done, she said, noting that she soon heard her remarks had gotten back to the Manions. Cowan said she was blacklisted for 4 years as she struggled to make any income. "You can never come back. Even if you're back, you're ostracized forever. I was just kind of drugged through the mud eternally." After a potential sponsor said he did not want to upset the Manions by signing her, she said she was able to salvage the deal by apologizing to the family for her remarks. Cowan also agreed to pose for JM in lingerie. I wouldn't do nudity, she said. I don't judge it, but I do judge it. What I do judge is when you feel like you have to do it to place well. In 2011, she finished number 3 in the figure category at both the Arnold Classic and Olympia competitions. Later, in a final attempt to reach the top, she said she signed with JM. Her career fizzled soon after, she said, when she suffered a neck injury during a backstage accident. Weird. Garcia, the bikini competitor who said she refused sexual advances, said that crossing JM could quickly kill a career. When her son had just turned 1 and was still breastfeeding, she entered her first bodybuilding contest. Her coach advised her to try to sign with JM's fitness management group. The girls on that team, they usually place better, Garcia said. People know who they are. At the next show, she asked JM for a chance. Soon, she had a contract, a pro card, and an invitation to Pittsburgh for a bikini shoot in his studio. She was short on money and caring for her baby, but did not hesitate to make the 4-hour drive from D.C. JM began setting her competitive schedule, and Garcia started to do well. At a show in Orlando in April 2013, she placed 3rd behind 2 of his athletes who would later win the Olympia. The following day, she was invited to a hotel pool for a photo shoot with a male competitor. Okay, this is the one that we saw in the video. While JM shot still photographs, a videographer filmed the scene under a pool waterfall with Garcia in a thong bikini and the male bodybuilder in tight shorts. I want the models to be themselves and loosen up, JM says in a video. At one point, Garcia bent forward laughing while the man put his hand on her back. She says that the video was edited to make it look like the two were having sex. Videographer John Hawley, in a text message to her post reporter, said he edited the film to emphasize the look JM appeared to be going for. Garcia says now she cringes at the footage, particularly the flattery she directed towards JM at the time. She calls the photos hot and said she was happy. I'm pretty sure I was just lying out of my face, she now says. JM soon approached her about shooting nude for a website where the athletes make money. He pulled out his phone, she said, showed him some of the website photos. 2 athletes she knew, both naked and making out in a shower. I started to make the connection, she said, recognizing some of the women who had bested her in recent competitions. I was like, oh my goodness. Garcia explained to JM that she drew the line at bikini shoots. She had a young son and couldn't imagine having nude photos online that he might find someday. Not long afterwards, a letter from JM arrived in the mail. At this time, since we have nothing in the foreseeable horizon for you in terms of paid work, we are officially terminating your bikini fitness figure competitor model contract with Fitness Management Group, read the letter Garcia shared with the Post. Garcia said she viewed the termination as a direct result of refusing to take nude photographs. In the years since, she has struggled to maintain steady employment, survived a major car accident, and experienced bouts of homelessness. To Gates, the demand on female athletes were bad enough, but the bikini division horrified her. After she left the sport, women came to her and asked her to coach them so they could compete in the bikini contest for the NPC and potentially the Olympia. Gates had never seen a bikini show. And then I started watching it online, and there is no way I'm going to work with a girl and tell her how to turn around and poke her ass out. I can't do it. I feel like it got a lot worse after I got out, which is kind of like a godsend for me that I did get out. All right, there you go, folks. That is the article. That is the story that I found to be extremely compelling and to me seems true. I know that was very long. I appreciate you sticking around and listening to the end of it to get through all the accusations. But there's more coming out about the family. The article hasn't published yet. I don't know when it's supposed to come out. But there's a part 2 to it that I have not been able to read yet. But yeah, it just seems like this is something that I would love to hear the perspective of people who are still interested in this sport. Like, why? What is the drive forward with this sport? And do you agree with what this article says or not? I just think, and again, one of them, let me confirm this before I say it, but I'm pretty sure, now if this is his real, okay, I believe this is his Instagram, the JM guy. I requested to follow it, I think. Oh no, I requested to follow my Keys World account. So that's the guy, followed by Heidi Powell, and I believe Chris Powell as well. Now, that doesn't mean, let me follow him real quick. That doesn't mean that he supports or they support him, but the fact that they're following him on his private account, it would appear, yeah, okay, he follows him too. It would appear that they know something. They at least know him. Yeah. So what do you got to say? Like, I want to know what is it true? Do you agree? Were you a part of this at all? And when Heidi joined, like I said, she was already doing the show. So, she might have avoided all of this, like, oh, you need to show me that you care type of behavior, because, that seems to be like for people who want to get a start, who want to get ahead in the business or have a chance. If she was already famous, maybe she doesn't have to do that stuff to get in the door, because she's already got a show and she's already kind of like the darling of the group. I don't know. I'm just speculating. I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. Is that true? If she's okay, here's my response to that. I don't disagree with you, but she is also charging hundreds of dollars to train people in fitness, but also not just fitness, in your mental health as well. And she's claiming that, she can help you become a better version of yourself, and she's going to teach you life skills through her trainings. It's like you're hosting $3,000 plus weekend seminars about life and how to become a butterfly and empower women, and yet you can't say like whether you agree. I don't know. It just seems like, get out of that industry then too, like as a coach. But maybe I'm being too harsh. I don't know. I'm open to criticism. And Dave too. Dave should also say something as well. I don't think he, as he enters his first competition, gets a peek behind the scenes, and it's around the same time this article comes out. Now, of course, it could be like, oh, I have no idea. I didn't read it. But I'm sure it was discussed. I would imagine at somebody sent someone a text like, yo, did you see this? And if not, that's very odd. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just going through all of your comments.
Clear.
Yeah. I'm reading. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think, everybody? I don't know. That's sort of like a horrible story to end on, but I don't know. I think the industry needs to get a big wash at the very least, and I don't know. I don't think it will, though. It's articles like that. Sometimes if they don't tip the scales immediately, it just blows over and it's out there. And if you want to participate in it, you can. It's almost like it's not even a secret anymore. It's part of it. And if people still compete and people still pay to join and get that, validation, recognition, why would they stop? If anything, it empowers them more. Like, oh, this big expose came out and no one cared. No one spoke out. No one cared at all. It's interesting, especially if someone did well in these competitions. I wonder what they have to say about it. What do you think? And just again, Heidi competed in the bikini competition, the one that is like the lesser figure, not the muscle building one. So this is a different year. Anyways, so that's it. That's a short and sweet stream today. Little different, little off topic. I'm still working on the Bethany Frankel video because I did the live on it already about the cease and desist issue, and I have been looking more into her nonprofit stuff on the side. So I have things to say about that, but I should say that in an edited video. So that's forthcoming soon, and also the vlog video. I should be done with it tonight. I'm probably going to post it for members early tomorrow, so you can watch it a day early, and then I'll post it for everyone else on Thursday. So that's my vlog from Rach Talk Live. So if you want to see me, jumping around Cincinnati and getting some of my like first impression thoughts and stuff that I captured while I was there, that will be coming out. Hopefully you enjoy it. It's a little bit more casual than I have been in the past with like my structured content. So that should be coming out tomorrow. And yeah, if you want to join the membership, you can totally do it. And I added a new emoji called cringe. It looks like this. I can't look. I'm not looking. And also, what was I going to say? One positive thing about Dave now, I don't know. Like I said, the bar is so low that any compliment, it makes it seem like I'm changing directions and going, oh my God, like great person. And I promise you that's not what I'm saying. But right before this competition happened, Dave put out a podcast. And he, in the beginning, alludes or says like, oh, I'm getting ready for this fitness competition. It's almost here, blah, blah, blah. And he put this out called The First Step in Scaling a Business. I listened to it because I thought, okay, first of all, I was like, Dave Hollis literally, like the business that he entered into had 60 employees. And when he left, it dwindled down to, 2, seemingly, allegedly. That's what it looks like online, at least, from my know-nothing perspective. And so I was like, oh God, what like stupid advice is he going to talk about, scaling the Hollis company? It's going to be a nightmare of a podcast. I listened to it and I was like, you know what? Like, this is what I think he should be doing more of. It wasn't, super coherent. It needed to probably be whittled down or had a more central thought. But the way he was talking and thinking about business, it made me feel like he has some knowledge about what he was saying. And whether it works or not, at least it brought up questions of like, okay, where is your highest performing sector of the business? How can you increase that? What do you think about bringing new employees in? Like, it had coherent thought. It had, I thought, good tips in it. Could have been better. Yes, of course. Is it the best thing he or Rachel has put out in a year? Yes, I think. That's what I said on Reddit, because I listened to it last night and I was like, this is so much better. And at least, it's not him and Heidi talking about, bullying and the hard that they've gone through like that. I just hate that type of content now, especially like what we watch with Heidi talking about her, issues and how she's going to subject herself to scrutiny for her own good. Like that whole, in my opinion, like bad judgment, mental health problems, it was not a part of this. This was like on topic from a place of expertise. So I said thumbs up to this podcast, but will it stick? I don't know. Who knows? But I did want to say that was my true, honest opinion on that it was much better than anything he's done. And Rachel too. Because Rachel, like I said, Rachel lately I listen to everything she puts out, at least for now. I might stop because it's been pretty boring lately, which is good. I think she needs to be boring. But her last couple of podcasts have been pretty like PC and very much just like, here's a tip, get 8 hours of sleep at night. Here's a tip. Why don't you, not stress so much, like just stuff like that. And it's like not hurtful and it's not harmful. It's very basic and I have no problems with that. Do that, queen, go off, like do whatever you want. So, her labia has taken a break.
Oh, okay. Colt.
But, as soon as like they stop getting excitement, then all of a sudden they start posting like the hot tea on why I broke up with my husband.
Let's tune into this ankle.
So she's provided me a lot of content lately. So now she's like, you know what?
Whatever.
I'm going to produce content for Sirius XM radio. Oh, yeah. Here I am. I try to give credit where credit is due and try to like give, people, or at least like the people I harshly criticize, which is obviously everyone in Hollisville. If they do something I'm not totally in hate of, I try to give them like a little bit of like, yay, because I feel like that makes me also fair, because when they do something bad, it's not like, oh, she just hates everything they do. It's like, yeah, I hate a lot of things, but I also think some things are better than others.
You're not freaking fine.
You're not freaking fine, okay?
Like, I'm not drinking the Rachel Hollis Kool-Aid.
Okay. Also, yeah, Kendra Kendra from Kendra Creates almost has 1,000 subs. So we stan Kendra on this channel. Someone was like, on Reddit was like, Kendra is not kind. I'm like, what are you talking about? She is like extremely kind. At least she was in our interview and in the live stream. She's like, she's not, okay, shut up. She's almost there. She's got 868. So if you haven't subscribed to Kendra's channel, you should. She was our guest. And if you haven't watched the video, it's on my channel. Okay, now I'm just like talking into the nothing, into the nonsense. Cringe Fluencers tomorrow as well. And Choose Sadness. This isn't my hard sell time. I'm going to do my songs for all the Pancake Breakfast Club members in the membership. So stick around for that, because I have a new style coming. It's a little bit country. It's a little bit country. It's a little bit not rock and roll. And then we'll end the show there. So thank you for joining. I'm sorry that I was a downer, and we're going to have more stuff coming ASAP soon-ish. I think probably next week, but maybe earlier than that. Okay. See you later. Bye. And I'm back. Yeehaw! Let's go. Rainy Cannon is a really cool person. Oh yeah. And Young is also a person. Angela Arnold, she is a cowgirl. Great one. Brianna Nicole. Brianna. That's it. Brianna Nicole, she is not a mole. She just likes a show. Crystal G, how about me? Kimberly Causey, she is the bae, yeah. She loves that cowboy style. Starry nights in the Texas sky. Nicole Campbell, she's a fly on the wall in the country bar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The perception trainer, she is a no-brainer. Dave Kelly, Dave Kelly. He is so much like peanut butter and jelly. So cool lashes, she is flashing around Southern California, that's where she lives. And Dahlia, oh Dahlia, she is from the heartland of Utah. God, it's bad. Joms needs a new job. That's called a job. And it's on the lawn. Clueless Monet, she is a winner today. Oh, knew that was coming. Hey, we're back. Marley Hano is not playing the piano. She likes the banjo, just like Alaska Tundra. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bonjour Nancy, she's so fancy. Hey, and Stella Black, she doesn't like the slack. And Nicole Hensley, she dresses like Elvis Presley. Kimberly Harris smiles all over the South. and the West. A console. Don't get confused with Rapunzel. Tells Marie she got a degree. Just like Louise V. She's got multiple degrees. Cause she's so hot. Yeah, it's really hot in here. And finally, Laura Wallace. She's got boots on, just like Rachel Hollis. And she loves to watch the show. Yeehaw! And I just want to say good night to all the scruffy cons. Tomorrow we'll have a new day. And if this depressed you, I'm very sorry. But we will all need to be tawdry. I don't know. Alright, everybody. Well, it's been fun rounding up the shows with you. And I will see you soon. Goodbye.